It has been a long time. G'day everyone, Viv here. I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to Crouch After Dark. As I said, it's been a long time. Now, it does seem nothing has changed. Because 20 minutes before this stream, I was watching a little bit of the Astro Pub with Mr. Paul, Batman 01 Shelley, Mr. Paul Shelley. And all of a sudden, things started going a little bit weird. So let me know if you can hear me. Right now, I am in OBS, but as soon as I switch over to Star Citizen, everything in OBS seems to stop working. I can still see the images and stuff moving, it's just that none of the sound meters or anything continue to move. Let's get a little bit of music on. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. It has been months and months and months. Bear with the camera view for a minute while my head pops out of frame. Oh, you know what we do need? Some comments would be good. Let's get this set up over here. Because I have changed my seating arrangement. You might notice I've got a new chair. It's got a little neck thing. So now instead of sitting up at my desk and hunched over all the time, I actually now game sitting back in my chair like I think most gamers actually do. So I've adjusted the camera. But you know how we do it here at After Dark. We've got to get this stream kicked off the right way, and I do have in front of me, which I am mixing up, a nice cup of hot chocolate. Just milk and Milo. Absolutely perfect, because even though it has been a long time, we are not breaking with tradition. Sylvester has joined us in the chat. Clive is here. Campaign Terrain Source. Missed you, mate. Hope you are well. Hope the stream goes well, my friend, says Sylvester. Well, let's hope so. Andrew, hey, Crouch and chat. G'day, everyone. Audio is good. Crouch, please run before the game ruins your night. Acorn, how are you? Oh, holy crumptaculations.
You have hot chocolate.
What's that?
You have hot chocolate.
I do have hot chocolate. The ninja is here.
I want my own Tim Tam Slam, guys. This is like an exclusive stream.
This is an exclusive.
Because I'm having a Tim Tam Slam this time.
Why are you trying to eat the microphone? So we do have some Tim Tams. You know how we do it here. It's been a long time, but we're not going to break with our traditions here. Tim Tams, we have them here. What is a Tim Tam? I hear you asking. And I shall explain to you. Of course no one's asking, but I've still got it's part of my intro, man. Mind your own business. What are you doing here?
Being cute.
You're being cute? No, look.
Being cute, because I always do it.
It is 2 chocolate biscuits with a little bit of chocolate in the middle, all wrapped up in delicious chocolate, and we're going to bite off the opposite corners. That's going to expose the biscuits on the inside and turn this delicious biscuit into a straw. It also gives us a chance to taste that beautiful little Tim Tam.
That is exactly what I did. I heard the Tim Tam packet and
You heard the Tim Tam packet, did you?
stopped.
And then taking your favourite hot beverage. Could be tea, coffee, glass of milk.
Oh, cold beverage.
You could use a cold beverage, but the hot beverage will melt all the chocolate inside here, turning it into a gooey mess. And then we're going to shove it in our cake hole and we're going to get on with the game. What does help if you have a Tim Tam that doesn't have a hole in it? Oh no!
Hot. Oh, this
It's
is
very hot.
really hot.
I'll hold it.
Put them.
Hot. Absolutely delicious.
Bye.
She's out. Now, this only works if the Tim Tam is a whole Tim Tam. If it's got a tiny little hole in it, it's not going to work properly. And she's gone. She's out. Here's the Tim Tam packet and appears. Not sure why that had Andrew, not Flossie. G'day, Flossie. How are you, mate? Revealing, man. YouTube is doxing you, man. Tim Tam is the biscuit. for which we risk it. We're doing one more. I'm going to jump into some Star Citizen 3.23, 3.23.1. I haven't played Star Citizen for a long time. I have managed in the last week, as I said in the description, jumped in after 3.23 went live. I sort of tuned in and checked out what was going on, and then Invictus came along and it was 3.23.1, and so I've jumped in and had a bit of an explore around. Oh boy, was I confused for the first day or two. Oh man, what's going on with my Tim Tams? They're full of holes. Situation is unacceptable. Nope, it's no good. This was a bad packet of Tim Tams. Why did Charlotte get the one that worked? Alright. You're going to stream snipe me, but my ship sucked death for no reason and I died. Your patience is low. Well, I am on an alt account tonight. Oh. I really need that chocolate. I think I'm going to have to change. We'll see how often we get back into the streaming. I do want to get back into it. Just don't know how much time I'm going to get. I might have to switch from the coffee to the chocolate because at this time of night, that chocolate is absolutely delicious. All right, so as I mentioned, we are having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to go back into the game and you let me know if the audio and stuff stops working, and because yeah, as soon as I click into Star Citizen, all my audio meters in OBS stop working. The camera does continue to monitor things, but my Stream Deck doesn't work. I can't change things on my Stream Deck. I have no idea why all of a sudden this has started happening. I did restart my computer. There we go. So as soon as I Alt-Tab out of Star Citizen, the command from the Stream Deck kicks over to OBS. So Star Citizen is doing something weird and it's just started doing it. Don't ask me why. It is the wonderful world of Star Citizen. So I can't see any of my audio meters moving. Let me know if things are still working out as they should be. Do you think that would stop me, says Acorn? No, I do not. You're a very scary person. Everywhere I go when I was streaming, you just seemed to be there before me. How? I have no idea. Remake my scene. It doesn't have anything to do with OBS, because even if I'm watching YouTube or something else is playing on one of my other monitors, as soon as I click back into Star Citizen, those things stop working. So it's definitely Star Citizen has decided to do something. But yeah, just let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear. We've got some gentle music playing in the background, our little spaceflight music. Obviously we've got some game audio. Trey is not with us tonight, sadly. I can't afford the addiction to Tim Tams. Here they're $6 for 9 in a pack. Holy crumptaculations, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So we're here over on Magda. And oh, do you know what it is? God damn it! You know what it is. As always, it is the goddamn fucking Tobii eye tracker. As soon as I turned it on, everything started working. And now if I turn it off, everything continues to work. If I turn it back on, the Tobii eye tracker works, and I swear to God, everyone who tries to sell you these goddamn Tobii eye trackers needs to go back to kindergarten and learn something about fucking manners. Alright, so... I've had nothing but problems with it from the beginning. Okay, so we are over on Magda. We're doing some rock climbing. There doesn't seem to be outside of this new master modes thing, which took me a little bit of time to figure out, switching between things. Atreyu is not here because most of his commands and stuff don't work anymore. I have updated him a little bit. One other thing I've noticed since the last time I played. And I don't know if this is a new thing or if it's something specific to the master mode changes or when this has been patches and patches since I played. That ships now burn through hydrogen. Like they gobble that shit up. And I've been out rock mining in the C1 a little bit, and that thing just chews through hydrogen. You can't really boost a lot anymore. Like I used to flip around and boost all the time around every corner. You can't do that anymore because otherwise your hydrogen fuel, it just disappears. It just absolutely disappears. Julio, how are you? Hello, I hope you are well. Well, I'm glad I figured out that the Toby eye tracker was the problem, because at least now I can keep an eye on my meters and stuff and know that things are working out properly. Got rid of our silly little voice changer. That was an unnecessary little bit of ridiculousness. I'm first stream for a long time, and I'm just catching up from where we left off 8 months ago. But yeah, not much in terms of rock mining has changed again. You know, I'm just flying around looking for those targets that pop up at those close distances. Normally they're around 2 kilometers or less now, it seems. Although I haven't really figured out what the numbers mean. 150.2 M is obviously meters, but then it goes to MMs and I don't know, GMs and stuff. So let's see how we go tonight. $3.75 in Atlanta. Well, that's what we pay. We pay at Aldi. At Aldi, they've gone up from $3.50 to $3.95 or $3.99. It's very disappointing. So I am liking the changes that I've seen so far. Here's a little bit of how tonight. Let's gobble this up. I am liking the changes that I've seen so far. In terms of the rock mining, which is what we're here to do and talk about, there doesn't really seem to be too many changes in how it works. Outside of changes to the UI and stuff, and rock mining is still rock mining. Megameters and gigameters, million meters and billion meters, 1 kilometer, 1,000 kilometers, and 1 million kilometers. Now let's turn off that eye tracker because it disorientates me when I'm on foot. Excuse me. One other thing I have noticed is that the ship inventories have been massively reduced, at least for the ships that I've played around with, and you know, admittedly that's only been the Nomad and the C1. Previously you used to be able to take the Nomad out down to a bunker and, you know, just loot everything in that bunker. But you can't do that anymore. You barely get 6 or 7 sets of armor. But maybe even 5 or 6 sets of Ninetails armor in the Nomad's inventory before you can't loot anything else. Excuse me, here we go. There's that hot chocolate popping back up to say howdy. That is not the door to get out. This is the door to get out. So that's one thing that I've noticed has changed. So that means for looting runs and stuff like that, if you want to get your full loot gremlin on, you go full goblin, you really do need to be taking those boxes. And you know, I'm not adverse to that change because it does mean that those boxes become a little bit more relevant, right? This new interaction F button, I've really been enjoying. It is a little finicky sometimes in the way that, you know, the focus on that button either works or doesn't work, and sometimes you got to maneuver around and try and get it in the right spot. And look at that rock cluster over there on that hill. Yeah, you got to use those boxes. Yeah, they're increasingly important now. So I did a quick a bunker run oh, I don't know, an hour or so just before the stream. And I had the rock sitting on the back of the Nomad. And I thought, yeah, no worries, I'll go down, you know, I'll take the rock off. Oh, and here's one other thing that I've discovered. It should have been immediately evident. As soon as they released the big tractor gun and all the issues people were having with Nomads, with rocks and stuff blowing up, if you're going rock mining, keep one of those big tractor rifle guns, I don't know what they're called, the ones that go on your back. Keep one of those with you, because if you fry your rock, which I did do yesterday, it's much easier to use the big rifle to move your rock and chuck it on the back of the Nomad. This is another reason why the Nomad is the king of rock mining, because you don't have any doors or anything that you need to open. You can just pick up the rock and drop it on the back with the tractor beam rifle gun, and then loot everything out of it, put it in the ship, tractor beam the rock back off, chuck it out into the desert, and fly off to your space station to sell your rocks and or reclaim the new rock. Outside of a couple of small changes to the UI, everything seems to be the same here, which has been nice. Obviously, you know, all the changes that I've ranted about in the past, none of those seem to, you know, we need another mining refractor, which will come much later, I'm sure, in terms of the inert materials and different sizes of rocks and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, I've really been enjoying it. I have gotten involved in one fight. I got interdicted maybe a couple of days ago when I was playing. Like I said, I've been playing now for a little less than a week. Yeah, maybe a week. I probably started playing last weekend. Given it's not the weekend yet, it's been a little less than a week. And I got interdicted and got wrecked. Mostly because I couldn't figure out the controls and the shooting and the fucking master mode stuff, and the gimbals don't seem to be there anymore. If you press G, it doesn't bring up the little circle with the gimbal, so I don't know how any of that works. I have been out and about hunting the Copian, not primarily, only here on Hurston, so they seem to be in the caves from what I understand from other people saying things. They are over on Microtech as well, out in the plains of Microtech, here on Hurston, in the caves. Oh man, what's going on? I've got to get some details up here. What's it called? The Hernquigler. The Tobii eye tracker is causing issues. Maybe it's not the eye tracker. Yeah, I don't know what it is. As long as you guys can hear me, I don't really need to see those meters and stuff moving in OBS. It just lets me know that the volumes and stuff are actually working. Although I'm sure we've all had plenty of experience at this here at After Dark of things not working properly. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments if things stop working. We will keep an eye out. Wow, it became dark very quickly. On the stream, as we might remember, the reason I did stop streaming was because of my internet connection. God, that was a mammoth task to try and get sorted out. We had 3 different technicians come out, replacements of equipment, replacements of connections inside our house and outside. I have a cable connection outside on the power lines outside, changing connections and terminals and stuff, and it sort of seems to have settled down. It did quite some time ago. So we'll see how things go. OBS seems to be happy. YouTube seems to be happy. We're only on YouTube tonight, so Ruboy is here. Wow, I saw that crouch was on, and you know I have to watch. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, Ruboy. I hope you've been well, mate. It's been a long time since I've been here. It's been a long time. I did jump onto my Discord, which I've kind of just ghosted a couple of days ago. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't know what sort of time I'm going to get. I've been off work for a little bit. I had an accident at work, so I've been off for a little bit. I'm due to go back hopefully next week. We'll see how things go. I'm going to get my safe return to Auckland sorted out. So maybe next week. And once that happens, I would like to get back into jumping onto the old streaming platform. Just to keep in touch, just to say howdy, unwind, play some Star Citizen, and just get back into following along with the development of how things are going here. Because I have missed it. I have missed it. I haven't really kept up with what's going on either. Alright, so auto gimbals are dead. Only for turrets now. Okay, so you can't, so there's no more gimbals now, hey? Voice audio could go up a tad, but other than that, everything else looks great, dude. Okay, well, let me bring this a little bit closer because I can't turn the audio of that up any higher. What we could do is turn everything else down a little bit. Let's turn that down a little bit. And why can I not control this? Let's unlock that. Let's turn the game down a little bit. Because my volume is maxed out. I can't get that any louder unless I really sit on the microphone. So get good, hey? Okay, alright, so it looks like I'm going to have to really fire up my game then in terms of ship combat. So I am right now on one of my alt accounts, and the only ships that I have access to here are the Nomad and the Avenger Titan. So my Nomad is going to be my go-to ship, obviously for rock mining, because it is the undisputable king of rock mining. I don't care what you say. With the changes that I've seen now, certainly in terms of hydrogen and how that's getting used, the really quite significant restriction on being able to boost into corners and swing your ship around and fly around real quick. The Nomad, I've tested, well, not tested, but I've played now with the Nomad and the C1. Not heaps, but more than a couple of hours. And the C1 just, I couldn't stay out for very long before, even without boosting, without having to, go back and land somewhere and refuel. The Nomad is certainly more, is better. But again, I'm not really using the boost as often as I used to. So it does make flying around a little bit, a little bit different. But once you get used to it, it's fine. And in terms of, the rock exploding, I think we're well past, and probably have been for quite some time. The rocks exploding when you overcharge nodes and stuff. I've done it twice in, the last week or so. Simply because I haven't really been paying attention. And you can move the rock with the little multi-tool, but the big rifle one just makes it so much easier. And so being able to pick up your rock, your dead rock, chuck it on the back of the Nomad, strip out the gems from it, discard that, broken bunch of metal, and fly back to an outpost to sell the gems and claim a new rock is awesome. Now I'm sure you can tractor beam it into something like a Cutlass or a Valkyrie or a C1 or something like that, but just from the ease of just being able to throw on the flatbed of the Nomad has been amazing. I have noticed that the animations here have changed slightly as well when it's sucking up the gems. Oh, here's another, you know, I was talking before earlier about the changes to the ship storage capacities. Now, sadly, either the Nomad doesn't have, or I haven't found its hidden location, which some ships do, which I'm sure is an oversight, have hidden internal storage, like the Carrack has an internal storage cupboard in the hospital. The Nomad doesn't seem to have any internal storage. And I've noticed, you know, I just used to go out in the rock, fill it up every time I'd finish my... What just happened? Okay. What's happened? Why is my rock misbehaving? Well, this is something new. What have I clicked on, or what have I done to make this happen? Anyway, I was saying that now I can fill up a rock, dump its contents into the Nomad, and maybe do that, you know, 2 times max before the Nomad is full. I don't know what I've done. I held up my hand, and then this thing stopped working properly. Crouch, there's a guy named Manjinder in Perth that's delivering my dinner. Do you know him? I do, man. I do. He's your cousin, dude. You don't remember him? Okay, something weird has happened to my rock. This is unexpected. But, you know, not out of the realm of, you know, normality, given how things generally work out here at After Dark. Okay, so let's troubleshoot our way through this problem. Let's turn the eye tracker on. So the eye tracker doesn't really like working with the rocks, so let's turn that off. Really wish we could have a little light. Where is the light bar on the rock gone? Or is it just those 2 little lights there now? Okay. Let's retract the mining head, power off, or engines off, power off. Let's get out. I have also noticed that the weather conditions seem to be way more relevant. So it gets quite cold here on Magda, and it starts to affect you. I ended up with 2 tier 3 arm injuries, maybe yesterday, maybe early today, last night sometime. From being out here shivering, my body temperature was down to 29 point something. Oh yeah, Free Fly is basically shitting on the game right now. Well, that, you know, I kind of expected that the Free Fly would be having some sort of influence. But, this is something new. Okay, now the laser doesn't want to fire at all. So thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone. I greatly appreciate you spending some of your time with me here as we jump back into Star Citizen. You know, deal with the Star Citizen ness. Come on, what's going on, ROC? I've been having such a good time. Let's turn that torch off. I have seen this happen before. I kind of have a vague sort of recollection of this sort of nonsense happening before, but how it gets fixed, I'm not sure. So I haven't, you know, a lot of people that I used to watch on YouTube are playing a lot of other games at the moment. I'm assuming if you guys are still watching, then you're all probably still playing Star Citizen. How has things been for you guys? Have you been enjoying the changes? Like the stream, you bastards! Thank you, Acorn. I appreciate the support there. I do appreciate everyone. 5 likes there on YouTube. It's been a long time since I've been on, and it's wonderful to be back. If we can get this issue with the laser sorted out, that'd be nice. Otherwise, I think we might give up on this little patch and maybe go get ourselves a new rock. Although I don't know if that's really the problem. As Acorn said, it could just be the free fly shitting on my game. Okay, that seems to be looking much better. I don't know if that was me turning the engines off or going into the MFD and turning the power for the laser arm off and back on again. But that seems to have done something. Oh, and the last time I think I played, the rock was making that terrible, terrible noise. That seems to have been sorted out, which is very nice. With the engine seemingly being in overdrive the whole time. Oh yeah, look at this. If I put the engines back on, the laser stops working. Maybe there is a problem with my rock. Let's turn the engines off, and the laser beam works. Hey, maybe there's something wrong with the power core. I think we'll collect up these gems, we'll go, we'll sell, we'll repair this rock. Maybe there is actually something wrong with the rock. So the plan tonight is just basically float around, do a little bit of rock mining. I am working up to sort of buy my next ship, which I've noticed that they've all gone up in price, which I think is wonderful. Although there does seem to be this duping situation at the moment. I keep seeing it in the comments. Apparently you're able to dupe stuff with a C2 or something, so people are abandoning C2s all over the major landing zones as they dupe stuff. And everyone's carrying on how that's destroying the game. But the plan is to save up some money and buy the next ship. Now I do have a Titan, an Avenger Titan, or Avenger Titan, and obviously the Nomad. So I'm figuring I might get the Titan out to do some ship-based bounties and stuff like that. And I'm deciding whether I should look for a ship that I can use to run bunkers, or the Prospector, to go Prospector mining. Now I can use the Nomad. There's two things that I'm concerned about when I run bunkers. Oh, and another big change seems to be that you can respawn now in all the medical beds. Which is both a good and a bad thing. So obviously I'm concerned about healing. So on my main account, you know, I'll either take the medical Pisces or the Cutlass Red or something like that. And if I do get injured, I can jump into one of those beds and, you know, heal up a little bit. You know, to some extent, depending on the level of the injury. But being able to respawn in the medical beds now is a massive, massive, massive thing. Because it does make sense to use the NOMAD to run bunkers simply because I can load up storage containers on the tray of the NOMAD, put them on the sides, and still have space in the middle of the tray on the NOMAD to chuck all the bodies, and then go up there and then just strip stuff straight off the bodies into the containers. But that medical bed issue, oh boy, that's a big thing, man. That's a big thing. So when I started thinking about that, I was like, you know, the Pisces is a great bunker runner, right? You know, it's a lovely little ship. You can land there and park right out the front, you know, run out, go do your bunker, run back in. But, you know, I'm a loot goblin. If I'm going to run a bunker, I want to max... Oh, yeah! And you now get 30 minutes to loot the bunkers too. Whereas before you used to have 15. So that's another awesome thing. And so now that you get that 30 minutes, you know, I want to make use of that time and loot as much stuff as I can. And given that the ship storage capacities seem to have been, you know, modified or reduced, you need to be able to bring along some storage containers. And the Pisces, especially the medical Pisces, not fantastically suited for, you know, carrying, you know, 2 SCU boxes and stuff around. And so that's leaning me towards the Cutlass Red. Now, the Cutlass Red, obviously, it's got the medical beds in it. It's got storage for several storage boxes. You know, it's in a fight more capable of, you know, handling itself than the Pisces is. So, yeah, I'm undecided whether I save up. The Cutlass Red is now 2.9 million or 2.8 or something like that. Or if I save up for a Prospector. I'm not sure. I do like to run bunkers, and, you know, whilst I very much enjoy the super chill mining, you still can't buy the Vulture apparently. Why are we not able to buy the Vulture in game yet? That's ridiculous. The Vulture's been out for over a year. As much as I do enjoy the industrial gameplay, I am very much missing being able to jump down and go run around and a bit of pew-pew in some bunkers. I was wondering if the ROC was working this patch, had heard stories of the laser not working. Outside of that little situation that we just had just then with the laser doing some weird stuff, I haven't noticed really any problems. Mind you, Rusty Nuts, I haven't played for quite a long time. So I'm not familiar with the problems that people perhaps might be talking about in, you know, some of the more recent patches of the laser not working. I think the last time I played, when people were talking about the laser not working, is that it wouldn't automatically initiate power to itself. So a lot of people thought the laser wasn't working. The only thing you had to do at that stage was, you know, use the MFD to actually turn power to the mining arm on and off manually, and then it worked perfectly fine. But it wouldn't send power to the laser when you just booted the ROC up like it had always done. And so everyone thought that the laser wasn't working, and they just didn't realize that at that point in time, whether by design or by just mistake on CIG's part, you had to manually go and route power to the laser. That was the last issue with the laser that not working that I remember, and that would have been maybe 319 or maybe 320. I can't remember the last time that I played. It was what, some time ago. The C8R is cheap. Well, that's the thing, right? The C8R is a cheap little ship. This is the issue that I'm talking about now, Rusty, and I think this might be a problem with my ROC, is that when I have the engine on, you can see it can't route power to the laser arm. See, my laser currently has zero power. If I, disable power to the laser arm and power it back up again, you can see there's no power getting to the laser, and I can't use it. But if I turn my engines off, my laser works. To me, that indicates that there's a problem with my ROC and its power core. So it probably needs to be repaired. It's probably taken some damage or something's happened to it, and it needs to be repaired. So that's the issue that I'm talking about now. Yeah, the C8R Acorn is a cheap little ship, but it doesn't, I guess it doesn't really suit my style of bunker running from the perspective of being able to loot everything in the bunker. And now that we get 30 minutes to loot everything in the bunker, you can damn well be sure I'm going to try and loot everything in the bunker. Another thing I've just noticed is you can no longer carry 3 guns. Previously, you used to be able to have 2 in your backpack and 1 in your hands. And so when you were looting guns and stuff like that, you could run up to your ship, offload 3 guns, run back down into the bunker, put 2 in your backpack, pick another one up off the ground, and run back to your ship and do 3 at a time. Now you can't do that. You can only have 2 on your backpack, and it doesn't seem like, at least I haven't found a way, to be able to carry a 3rd rifle at the same time. So that's been a bit of a bummer. Free rental yesterday too, Rusty. Hey, I might be a little bit behind in the comments. Sorry. Was that for the C8R for Invictus? I've been to the Invictus Hall a couple of times, but I don't know. What I really have been enjoying is Paul Shelley's, tours of the convention hall. I'd go there if I could. Like you go to a museum or something and they've got like a play button and you can press play next to an exhibit and it plays a little audio recording about whatever you're looking at. And, to me, that would make things way more interesting. And so I really enjoyed watching Paul's videos on that because it makes everything way more interesting. I don't know how we've managed to fling all these gems everywhere. The Cutlass Red did not increase the price. Yes, it's now 2.9. The Vulture was purchasable at Lawville last patch. Lawville is the Vulture is a Drake ship, right? When I was there, it hadn't, it wasn't available. Me neither. Been over a year. Got fed up of losing everything to 30Ks mining. Well, that's been another awesome thing is that there's been no 30Ks. I've had a couple of, server errors. Maybe 3 of them that I can remember. But then you just sit there and wait. It's got a little message on the screen that says server error, please wait. And you just wait for a couple of minutes and then the server, reconnects to the replication layer and then you just continue on. And it's been like that even when I've been mining like nodes of rocks. Be in the middle of mining them and something would go wrong, whereas in the past it would 30k and you'd be screwed. Now, if something happens to the server, if at 30ks, it just pauses the game, I guess. Pops up a little message, says server error, please wait. It spools up a new server, reloads the data from the replication layer, and you just continue going from where the server stopped. It's been awesome. The Drake Vulture at Lawville is 2.6 million. Okay, I'll have to go and have a look. Maybe. I can use the NOMAD for running bunkers. The only thing it doesn't have is the medical bed. And, that's just a matter of being a little careful, right? Why is it so dark? Let's gobble up these gems and go find out what's happening with this rock. Let's turn the engines off so we can get power to our laser. Yeah, there's got to be a problem with the power core. If it doesn't have enough power to keep the laser running and the engine at the same time, then that, to me, indicates that there's a problem with the power core. And we should be able to see that here. So our drivetrain is currently off. Steadfast. Where's the power core? Maybe it's called drivetrain. That's our cooler. Yeah, both of them are at 91% health. I don't know. I can't see the power core there. Anyway, we'll go and get it repaired. The 3 guns thing is so stupid, man. It is. It's been a little bit frustrating. You know, I don't understand why they've done that. I'm assuming it's probably got something to do with the inventory and the new looting system, and how that works. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, obviously, if you've got 2 slots on your backpack to sling some rifles, you sling some rifles up there, and then you've still got hands free to pick up another one and keep running. So yeah, that change has been a bit disappointing. Let's turn the engines off. Let's get this fired up. Yeah, the 2 gun / 30-minute timer is just a rebalance. Things are good now. Look, I've really been enjoying it. You know, I'm not one to usually moan and groan and complain about, you know, changes. Everyone knows how I feel about the word nerf. You know, I've never really been one to complain about changes. You know, at the end of the day, we're still playing an alpha. It is still very much in development, and the game that we're playing now is not the game we're going to be playing when it's released. So whatever happens now, for the grand scheme of things, is mildly irrelevant, right? Alright, we'll get this in here, park it off to one side so we can still get down the back. I have managed to get stuck in a tire once so far. That still seems to be a thing. And I don't know if this is entirely necessary or if I'm just getting into the habit of doing it. But now that we have the tractor beam up here on the top, I've always got into the habit now. Well, I'm talking about the last week. There's no habit, you know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Of closing the door. Actually, let's just put this up and see what happens. I've never actually tried. And seeing if it collides with the tractor beam. Yeah, see how it's kind of inside the tractor beam or touching the tractor beam? Wonder if we're going to get some problem with collision when this comes back down. No? Seems to be okay. I've just gotten into the habit of just closing the door now. Hold down the F key. Brings up the menu option, which I'm absolutely loving that little change. And we'll dump these into the ship. Yeah, so if you haven't played for a while, Rusty, I'd jump back in, man, because, you know, I haven't really noticed any problems with the ROC mining. See, 700 gems, 60%. All we've got in here is a couple of med pens and an undersuit. And 700 gems, that's not even a full ROC, has almost filled the NOMAD. So the storage capacity, the internal storage capacity on the NOMAD, and every ship I've been in now, seems to be way, way smaller. Which is not a bad thing. I don't disagree with that. It does give the cargo boxes that you can buy now way more relevance. Alright, let's go sell some gems. Let's go get this rock repaired. Whilst we're here, we are all kitted out for a bunker that I ran earlier. Let's get ourselves a drink. And then we shall continue on with our adventures. If it's not a new deal, it's a bug. It's bugged. Okay. Also, FPS weapon hotkeys are all bugged. What do you mean? What do you mean they're all bugged? Oh, and I like this, right? Now that when you finish drinking a drink, you don't need to look at the water bottle to place it anywhere. I have turned on, you can see on the right hand side of the screen, I've turned on all the tooltips and the hints and stuff because there was just so much stuff. In the first 1 or 2 days of playing again, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so I turned on the hints and tips. And so now when you finish drinking your drink, you can just left click the mouse button and go put that water bottle somewhere or chuck it wherever you want. You don't need to look at the bottle anymore to be able to place it down somewhere. Put that into the disappearing table. Play back in 3.17 with all the free money. Hey! Those are the days. Only been doing bunkers due to the possible rock issues and not so much cash yet. Yeah, man, I'd jump in, man. The rock doesn't seem to have any issues that I've noticed. This one's obviously having some problem. We're going to go get this one repaired. I am liking the changes to, the master modes in terms of, the ship being limited to 30 meters a second when your landing gear and stuff is down. That's saved me a few times. We all know that sometimes my landings are more than a little hot. A table like that doesn't seem useful. Well, it's useful for getting rid of rubbish. Oh boy. All right, let's activate our, what's it called? Quantum travel thingy. That's stuck over to Han over here. We're not that far away from it. And go see if we can get this rock sorted out. Yeah, so we'll see how we go tonight. We might mix it up a little bit with a bunker here and there, just to keep things interesting. Yeah, I'm enjoying this this nav flight mode, where you can now switch between just the general flight, attitude indicator, your scanner, and the quantum drive. I don't want to admit how long it took me to figure out how to change between those. Even though I had the tooltip on, where it said click the middle mouse button to change between modes. But I've bound that now to my left stick, so that's making things a little easier. And I don't know if it's just me or if these outposts now just have so many more lights on them. Having said that, it's not really helping me identify where the bloody landing pads are. We have some lights on. Yeah, they don't seem to do a great deal, do they? Actually, we don't want to land the ship on there. We want to land just off and get the rock onto the landing pad itself. It is so dark out here. Where the hell is the ground? This is when I dump it onto the ground and explode. Yeah, I definitely want to get back to mining. It's so chill and the views are stunning. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've always enjoyed surface mining in a prospector or a mole, rather than being out, in the belt or out in space or stuff like. Oh, helmet! No, helmet! It's bad news! It's bad news, everyone! No, don't do it! Don't do it! Do we have a helmet here? Get the helmet on. Whew. Nobody panic. Oh god, yep, there we go. First time on my arse in Magda for quite a long time. Boy. It's windy. Alright, let's see if we can see if there's a problem with this rock. Yeah, the mining is the views is one of the reasons I really love mining. It's just super nice. It's super chill. You know, it's relatively low risk. Oh man, I really wish these bloody lights would help out somehow. Why can I not turn the lights on the rock on? There we go. Not that they do a great deal, pointing up in the air. Alright, let's see if we can repair this thing. And I do like actually how the rock, it does seem a little underpowered. Isn't like the sliding go-kart that it used to be. No service. Oh, look at this, 340. Yeah, she's damaged. She damaged. Alright, let's get this back on the Nomad. We'll go sell those gems. Magda has always been my go-to spot for rock mining. Yeah, see that LED bar now is working properly. It wasn't working properly before. We just had two little spots. So obviously I've damaged it somehow. Turn that off. Power off. I don't know how long I've been using this rock for. This is what I was talking about that F key being slightly fiddly sometimes. There we go. Close that up. Stick this up. Might as well do a quick run around and see what loot we can find here. I'm glad we had a helmet sitting here. Is it upgraded or standard? It's always standard. I've never upgraded my rocks. Never upgraded the rocks. Never really seen a need to. But, you know, who knows? It might be more relevant now than I've sort of felt it to be, you know, in the past. I am pretty rough with my equipment. Oh, actually, do you know what? You know what it is? You know what it is? I've just realized. Before the stream, I went and did a bunker. And to loot all the bodies, to put them in the back of the Nomad, I had to move the rock. And I just used my big tractor beam rifle gun maneuvering tool and just lifted up the rock and just threw it off the back of the Nomad. And then putting it back on, I was flipping it all around and threw it on the back of the Nomad and lifted it off. And I was like, fuck it, just get inside the Nomad and the rock and drive it back up onto the Nomad. So probably through the process of me throwing the rock around with the tractor beam, I've done some damage to it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Is a diminished rock a pebble? I like that. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Okay. I do like how now you can just press F to loot this box. And it brings up the quick loot. Or you can click on the open inventory and it opens up the old inventory. Or you can hold down on the F key and then choose to open it, and it opens up the old screen. So I am enjoying the new interaction button. The penny drops. Yeah, there we go. You usually upgrade the power plant and the cooler. See, I'm normally over here on Magda, and it's already freezing cold on Magda most of the time. I think if you were somewhere hotter like Abedine or Daymar, then yeah, you'd probably want to upgrade coolers and stuff like that. But because Magda is my go-to, you can see it's minus 55 right now. I did get, not hypothermia, but probably gangrene earlier on and ended up with a tier 3 injury in both of my arms. Because I was like, oh, the cold doesn't do anything to you. Well, apparently it does now. I'm looking for a mining attachment. I'm going to take those shoes. Just because I like to collect clothes. I'm looking for a mining attachment for my multi-tool. Because I have the big rifle thing. Yes, there we go. That's what we want. Put that in there, please. Oh, what? Okay. I have noticed this happens sometimes that, you know, it loses focus on what you're trying to do sometimes. Let's grab that. And then the inventory screen disappears. I want that in my multi-tool, please. There is nothing in my multi-tool. Oh, there is. There's already a mining attachment in there. Oh, God, I wish I knew that earlier on. Because as a rock miner, I think this is way more useful. Again, from the perspective of being able to move a dead rock around, way easier than the multi-tool. Given I've got the max lift tractor beam, it makes sense for me to have a mining attachment in my multi-tool, especially if I'm going to go out hunting copian and stuff like that. Then I still have my weapon. I am loving this Gallant, by the way, this laser rifle. It is so good. I still have a multi-tool tractor beam to move stuff around, but now I've got a mining tool because we don't have the max mine yet. You know, if you'd tuned in 8 months ago or whenever I last streamed, you would have heard my rant about the max mine. Which I'm still waiting for. You know, one day we will get the max mine, which will allow us to mine on hand, either in groups, the larger nodes that you can generally mine with a prospector, or the nodes that they're going to implement once CI gets back to my emails. Between the nodes that you mine with a rock and the hand minables, something in the middle there. Anyway, there needs to be more diversity. You know, CR told me he was a little bit busy, so he'll get back to me later on about those changes. But yeah, having a mining tool just makes sense if you're going to go hunting copian here on Hurston. And being able to maximize the time that you have while you're down there in the caves. I have, for the time being, given up on my crusade on fresh food. Well, we'll see. Again, it has only been, you know, less than a week since I've started playing again. Scarred Citizen, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I hope you've been well. I am live. It has been many a month. But I've tuned back in again in coming up on a week now. And I thought I'd jump in. We'll throw in a live stream. We'll go for a little bit of a wander around. And, you know, reconnect a little bit. Reconnect. Kato, how are you, my friend? Hope you're keeping well also. 07s. Let's get out of here. There's nothing else we need here. We have repaired the rock, which I have now determined that by throwing it around with my max lift earlier on, before the stream, and that is what has caused the damage to that. That is now fixed. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Don't get in the ship. Don't get in the ship. We're going to sell our gems. We have to sell the gems because, again, with the reduced internal storage capacity of the Nomad and all the ships I've looked at so far, we don't have a lot more storage space in that Nomad for more rocks, so we might as well sell the stuff that we've got now to makey roomy. What is that? It is a piece of the station. I'm assuming this is the admin center, the one with... Oh, yep, there we go. Magda, put him in my ass again. It's windy, windy, windy. I'm assuming this is the admin center here. Excuse me, yeah, got the windows. We'll go sell our gems that we collected just before. And then I think I want to find a little bit of light. We've been wandering around in the darkness for too long. Here we go. 10 likes on YouTube. Double digits. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, not having streamed for 8 months or however long it's been. I really appreciate you guys choosing to spend some of your time with me as we fumble our way through 323.1 and discover all the awesomeness, discover all the pain, and just generally reconnect with... Okay.
Everything good?
No, your terminal's not working properly, mate. And to generally reconnect with Star Citizen and its ridiculousness. As we slowly grind our way towards money for either a vulture, which continues my industrial gameplay, or the cutlass shred. The more I think about it, the more I'm leaning towards the vulture, because as nice as being able to respawn in all the medical beds is right now, I do have the Nomad, which I can load up its tray with a whole bunch of storage boxes so that when I do go out and get my loot grobbling on, I've got places to store stuff easily. Yeah, it probably makes more sense because I do have a ship that I can run bunkers in and loot from.
You're right.
It does make more sense to grab the vulture over, you know, a ship that does the same thing that I can do right now, but just has a medical bed.
Hey.
Getting used to the change that they made to the keybinds for crouch and prone also has taken a little bit of time. But we are almost there. Sometimes I do dump my ass just because I'm so used to, what is it? The control key being the crouch key. Double digit pro streamer alert. Yeah, I don't have my phone here, unfortunately. Otherwise I'd phone my dad and let him know. It's been a long time. I'm sure he wonders what's going on. Might as well check this one out while we're here. Oh, hang on. There's my phone right there. Hang on. Beep, 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 beep. Cool, Dad. Hey, Papa. Yeah, I know it's late. Sorry. I did mow the lawn, actually. Last week. I mowed the lawn last week. Haha. Hey, guess what? Double digits on my stream. Yeah, I'm a pro streamer now. No, they're not going to pay me any money. It's not what it's about, Dad. It's just about connecting and having fun. No, I'm not going to come and mow your lawn. I'm busy. I got to go. Bye. Beep. God, he's always carrying on about something. I don't know when he's going to be proud of me. It's all I want. I really wish they'd fixed up these fruits too. A whole bunch of the stuff that you can sell a whole bunch of these collectibles at the admin center, right? And they're worth nothing, right? They're worth 1 credit each. But every now and then when I get my nonsenseness on and I'm like, I'm going to collect as much fruit as I can. I do. I fly around the space stations and collect fruit. But it does seem that you are not able to sell them in big batches anymore because there does seem to be a mathematics problem with how CIG are calculating the value of them, which leads to that price mismatch error. Let's grab these. They're worth $600 each or something like that. So that's been a little bit annoying. I did suffer through some madness in the beginning when I first logged on, and you know, all the shit I'd collected over the previous patches was all, you know, magically teleported back to my starting place at Lawville. I did actually spend a whole bunch of time at the admin office selling all of those one by one. Some of them you can sell in bulk because the math works correctly. But many of them I was like, okay, well, I can only sell one at a time. If they're worth 1 credit each and you say you want to sell 10 and it says you're going to get 12 credits, that doesn't work. It has a price mismatch because they're worth 1 credit each. So if you're selling 10 of them, it should be worth 10 credits, not 12. And so you got to go through and sell one by one. So I did do that for a while. How am I finding 323 Scud? Look, I'm really, really enjoying it. You know, Star Citizen is always going to have its problems, and you know, like this one here, let me out, please. But you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, I don't really like to complain a lot because there's little point in that, right? Just get on with what you got to get on with, and stop bitching and moaning and complaining about things. I mean, we're not children. And so I've been loving it. You know, it's taken some time to get used to the changes. As you can see on the bottom right, I have my hints and tips and tool tips and stuff turned on. And I'm sure there's some things that I'm still, you know, yet to figure out. I haven't really got into any ship-based combat. I can't figure out how to activate my missile mode. So, you know, there's, you know, we're on a journey of discovery, which is wonderful. You know, when I first started playing Star Citizen, I don't think I looked anything up. I didn't watch any YouTube videos or anything for the first 4 months. I was like, this fucking game that I spent a stupid amount of money on back in 2014 is something I can finally start playing. Let's get in and start playing the game. And yeah, I didn't really know anything about streaming at that stage. Wasn't watching any gaming content or anything like that on YouTube. Always, you know, having been a tabletop gamer for years and having worked in the industry for years, and, you know, all my other YouTube channels are all about, you know, tabletop gaming and stuff. I just didn't even look at it. And so I spent the first 4 months playing Star Citizen completely alone. And it was the best experience of my life. Every time I learned something or discovered something, it was like a fucking mammoth achievement. You know, nowadays you just see constantly in chat, I'm a new player, how do I do this? And I just feel like reaching through the screen and punching them in the nose and saying, figure the fuck out, man. You know, you've got a brain, you got eyes, figure it out. How do I do this? How do I do that? Shut the fuck up. So I really enjoy that journey of discovery. And, you know, I'm not here to get things done quickly, right? I'm here to have fun and enjoy the game and experience and learn. And so, you know, whenever people say that Star Citizen has a hard learn and massive learning curve, I'm like, yeah, it does. But I think that's what makes the game fun and interesting and exciting. I mean, you know, you've got to remember that, you know, we're just dumped into the middle of this space world, right? You got to figure it out, man. You know, who's that dude who built the tree houses on that island? Robinson Crusoe or whatever. You know, he didn't get there and go, ah, man, building this treehouse is taking too long. I shouldn't have to cut all these logs. You know, no, he just did it. I understand that's probably a, you know, a fiction story, but, you know, bear with me in my analogy. So, Star Citizen, I'm really enjoying it. Some of the changes have been amazing. I don't like the fact that we can no longer carry 3 rifles, but, you know, that is what it is. You know, deal with it, just move on. Yeah. Inventory madness, I finally just gave up on mine. Yeah, you know, it's yeah, the inventory, I do love the changes to the inventory system. It is still a little glitchy. Did we not refuel? That was clever. It still is a little glitchy. Who's this over here? Let's go have a look. It's still, oh no, not that dude. We don't want to fight that dude. Where's he going? Keith. No, leave me alone, please, Keith. Oh God. Oh no, there's 3 of them! There's a bad news! There's a bad news! We gotta get out of here! Run! Nav mode! Ah, missiles! Altitude! Quantum! Orbital marker! Number 4! Here we come! I can outrun them at the moment because they're in their fighting mode. Phew! I was lucky. Glad nobody panicked. Phew! Imagine if we panicked, that could have been disastrous. So yeah, I had to run from those guys because the last time I got in, and I've only been involved in one since I've started playing again in the last week, ship-based combat. I just got wrecked because everything is different, right? The flight model is different. The master mode thing is different. I couldn't figure out how to activate my missiles. The gimbals don't seem to work anymore. And I'd rather not have to deal with that learning experience while I've got all my stuff on board. I don't mind helping new players. I can't stand e-begging. Yeah, e-begging is just, pointless. And yeah, of course, I don't mind helping new players. But, sometimes the people just ask the most ridiculous questions, and I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Just spend a little bit of effort to try and figure some things out. CT, in the game you play, there are dailies. Yeah, most MMOs will have dailies and stuff like that. I remember when I was playing when we played Neverwinter and Elder Scrolls Online, I'm pretty sure it had dailies as well. I like to search them out for myself. Can't tell you how many times spoilers get blurted out. Yeah. Hopefully at some stage, when Star Citizen is well on, on its, standing proud on its legs, we'll have all those sorts of things for the different professions that we specialize in or are involved in. Do log on, do your daily missions, and then log off. Work back in, so I'm out. Good to see you back. Thanks, Rusty. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Hope you have a good day at work. All the best, mate. Appreciate you spending some of your time with me. Alright, so let's just go back to exactly the same spot where those guys were and hope that they've moved on. Maybe they got hungry and have flown off to Space Mackie D's to get something to eat. Space Mackie D's? They've gone to get hot dogs, dude. Or they're maybe they're on a diet and they've just gone to the pizza place where you can't actually get pizza and they're just going to look at the pizza. That's what they're doing. Rusty? Yeah, I'm super rusty. Super rusty. So at some point I will go strip off all my armor, chuck on a beacon suit, go jump in the Avenger Titan and go figure out space combat and set up all my keybinds and stuff again and get it all sorted out. But for the time being, we are running scared. Let's switch to this mode. 7,800. That's a pile of rocks down there. Hello, Rockies. How are you? Yeah, so right now we're just going to be floating around. Washwalkies has joined us. How are you, my friend? Crouch, long time no see, matey. Hope that Qantas is treating you well. It is. I'm off work at the moment. I have been for a little bit. I had an accident at work, so I'm off for the moment. And I'm expecting to go in next week to sort out my safe return to work plan, and then we can get back into it. So, but yeah, man, it's so nice. I'm loving it. Having ran my own businesses for such a long time, it is so nice just to be able to go to work, clock on, do my job, clock off, and come home. And because I work for domestic freight, either driving tugs or forklifts or whatever, I don't have one of those jobs like the office guys do, where you might get a call after hours or, you've got emails to check and all that sort of stuff. So it's been so nice. I just go to work, I do my job. I've converted my old work van from Knights of Dice, which we used to use. It's a long wheelbase Ford Transit for going to trade shows and all that sort of stuff. I've converted that into a camper van. I've been away in that a couple of times. I actually have another channel on YouTube where I've been... I've uploaded one video so far. I've got a couple more that I need to edit and post up there for, the little travels that I do in Artax. Artax is the name of my van. And so it's been wonderful, man. It's nice. I'm really enjoying it. It does make me sad. 11 years and you still can't pick up a pizza in game. I know. I mean, we got hot dogs, but come on, man. Pizza, really? Do we have a helmet on? We do. I would very much rather get my other helmet on. Thanks very much. This one with me bug eyes. Oh, yeah. You just got to be aware that sometimes this. Oh, yep, on me ass. The servers do glitch out a little bit, so I have suffocated more than a few times by quickly switching helmets and then jumping out, and their helmet not having actually switched, and then you jump out and you've got no helmet on, right? Let's go. Hope it's nothing serious. No, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. You're doing well too, Bushwick. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right, let's fire up our repaired rock. And hopefully, she's all good to gobble up this little node. Man, I had the best little session the other day. I posted on the Discord about it. I was here on Magda. You know, I'd logged in. This was maybe 2 or 3 days after I'd started playing again. And I stumbled across a node of 12. Had a night. Gobbled those up. Took off. Less than a couple of minutes later, landed on a group of 6. Landed, gobbled those up. Took off. Less than a couple of minutes later, I landed on a cluster of 19 Hadonite nodes. And yeah, so what's that? 19 plus 6 is 25. Plus 12 is 37. 37 Hadonite nodes in the space of, you know, 10 minutes flying around. Maybe less than 10 minutes flight time. Not including the time it took to mine them, but flight time. So here we go. She seems to be working much better, the rock, now that we've had her repaired. Note to self, don't throw the rock around with the max lift. Unless it is dead and you need to get it back onto the ship to be able to get the rocks out of it, the gems out of it. Do not unload the rock off the tray on the notepad by grabbing it with the max lift and just chucking it off the side. That results in damage, which you don't discover until you go out on a mining expedition and realize that the rock is not actually functioning like it's supposed to. Here's a little key tip for those people who are pragmatic about their mining. I will normally go through and break a whole bunch of nodes and then gobble everything all up at the same time. Now, each node does, and you can go back through the previous streams, we've done the science on all of this, produces 30 gems. But if you have some gems that are sitting very close to one of these nodes that you then explode, it will also destroy those gems on the ground, meaning that when you come to gobble things up, you don't have 30 gems here anymore, plus whatever you're getting out of the others you've just broken. You might only have 29 or 28 or 27, because some of them have been destroyed from your subsequent explosions. So if you do want to maximize your benefits in your rock mining, then break one node, gobble up your 30 gems, break another node, gobble up your 30 gems, break another node, gobble up your 30 gems, then break another node and gobble up the 30 gems. And then depending on how many nodes you have, either break the next node and gobble up the 30 gems, etc, etc, or just break them all and then gobble them up at the same time. It took me a long time to realize, as I was going through my science when we were doing all of that last year, why sometimes if I'm getting 30 gems out of each node, do I not have a round number all the time? Why do I have 271 gems? It doesn't make sense. It is because I was just exploding all of the nodes and destroying gems that were on the ground, and then when I hoovered them all up, obviously the ones that I've destroyed don't get hoovered up, and thus therefore don't contribute to the overall efficiency of the expedition. So if you are of the ilk that you want the maximum benefit out of your mining experience, or the maximum amount of money, break and gobble. That is the wrong mode to be trying to break that rock. Otherwise, like we are about to do right now, just go ahead and break them all. Take your losses. It is slightly faster just to bust them all and then gobble them all up at the same time. You know, one thing I do miss, and I don't know when it was, maybe 3.19 or whatever, when the gem mining became super, you know, you really had to massage it, you had to pay attention, you know, you had to play it, you had to, you know, dance the dance. Now it's, you know, and maybe it happened in 320, we were back to set and forget. So, you know, we dialed up to full power, we dialed back to 44% in this case, it's set and forget, sit here watching YouTube, wait for the rock to break. I really enjoyed that dance. So many people didn't, because it wasn't easy. You actually had to do stuff. I miss that. I really am looking forward to, as things progress and develop, how this profession evolves. Not just in the technical process of, you know, power up, reach your optimal zone, dial back to, you know, 40% or whatever it's going to be for whatever node you're breaking and however far you are away, and just set and forget. There we go, set and forget. But the differences in, you know, node sizes, the inert materials here, we got 72% hadonite and 27% or 23% inert material having an influence, just like it does when you're prospecting in a prospector or mole. You know, you've got to worry about inert material, different sorts of attachments on the lasers, you know, all that stuff I can't wait for. See, we've only got 62% hadonite in this rock and 37.6% inert. But yet I'm only ever going to gobble up the hadonite because the inert doesn't seem to play any role at this point. I really can't wait for, you know, those levels of intricacy to find their way into this profession to make it more than just a, you know, an automatic camera versus a DSLR. If you want to, you can just point and click, but if you want to get the most out of it, then you play with the settings and you dance the dance. Whoops. Get ready to set and forget. A little bit of server lag going on. Oh no, just me not using my pedals properly. Brain damage, yo! Good to see you, Crouch. I'm back at chewing rocks. I'm loving it, mate. It's very nice. You know, I've been running some bunkers and chewing some rocks, and I've been loving it. Inefficient, slightly more realistic, but meh. Yeah, that's true. More gem types and the value for them being different in different systems is what I'm looking for. You know what? I'm really, in terms of the value of the gems being different, you know what would be really wonderful is, at the moment, every hadonite gem, and I've spoken about this before, is worth 275 AUEC, right? But could you imagine, depending on the type of setup that you've got on your rock, what you've got it tuned for mining, having an influence on the quality of the gems. Now, this is what I've spoken about before, the quality of the gems. So that, you know, if you're mining hadonite, for example, in a rock that's designed to mine diamonds, for instance, the quality of the hadonite that you get out of these nodes is perhaps going to be different than it would be, most certainly it would be different, than it would be if you were mining in a rock that was tuned to mine hadonite. So instead of every rock being worth 275, you might get some rocks that are worth 275, but because you're mining with a machine, you know, tuned to mine diamonds, for example, some of those rocks might only be worth 160, some might be 185, some might be 200, some might be 275. So that way it kind of entices you, doesn't force you, but it entices you to go, oh, I've found some hadonite. Let me get my components of hadonite out. Let me tune my rock for this patch of hadonite. Let me go and do my mining on this hadonite to maximize my benefit. Or, like I said before, you could run around with an automatic rock and just mine everything and accept what you get. Or you could whip out your DSLR and say, I'm going to play with my my ISO. I'm going to play with my f-stops and, you know, adjust my, you know, depth of field and all that sort of stuff. Or the equivalents for our ROC miner, obviously, to get the most out of it. Yeah, that, you know, that would be amazing. Clive, it'll be interesting to see how mining goes when 4.0 and Pyro goes live. Yeah, like I was just saying, you know, I love everything that we've got right now, and I have since I started playing in 3.15. I don't know. It's just fun. It's just fun. And it's exciting to, you know, because we are, you know, watching a game being developed. And in some small way, we do have a very tiny influence over what happens and how things progress and develop. That it's exciting, right, to say, what if, you know, and a lot of people I think call that hopium or copium or whatever. Excuse me. But it's what for me adds that extra level of, you know, interest in the game, given that the game in itself is, you know, very, you know, unpolished in certain aspects. Is that that in and of itself is an aspect of the game. So I don't think it should just be discounted as hopium or copium or smokium or whatever, because, you know, it is a legitimate component of the game, of the overall experience. Like I was saying before, you know, for you know, the last, you know, 15 years or whatever, you know, I've been primarily involved in the tabletop gaming industry, you know, having run a retail store, then a manufacturing company, and, you know, designing and manufacturing model terrain kits and you know, scale model soldiers and stuff, and, you know, having them sold in stores all over the world and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I've always considered my other YouTube channels involved in that industry as an extension of that hobby. Not so much an extension of my business, but an extension of my hobby. Certainly even before I was commercially involved in that industry, and when I had my first retail channel, my first YouTube channel, that, you know, producing videos for YouTube was an extension of my hobby. You know, I wasn't just painting miniatures. I wasn't just playing games. You know, I was, you know, the production of videos and the uploading of them to my community there was part of my hobby. And so for me, that aspect of, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? Imagine what would happen if we're going to do this. I wonder how they're going to do this, is an extension of the game. And so, you know, people, you know, calling that out as hopium or copium or whatever, again, is just another one of those moments where I wish I could just reach through the screen and give them just a little bop on the nose and say, shut the fuck up, dude, let me play my game and enjoy it for what it is, and go back into your fucking sleeping bag. So yes, Clive, I'm very much looking forward to whatever comes. And certainly 4.0 and server meshing and Pyro. I never got involved in any of the tech demos or the playtests of Pyro. I haven't played in the PTU for over a year. I'm just like, you know, whatever, man. You know, whatever comes, comes. And, you know, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. You know. Most likely Pyro is going to have rocks that are not available in Stanton and may be rarer and much higher price tag. Let's hope so. You know, let's hope for some diversity. So that, you know, like a lot of industrial areas, right? Where my factory is, right up in Heidelberg, there's a little industrial precinct up there. There's a lot of mechanics, a lot of fabricators, a lot of metal workers. And if you go a couple of districts over, a couple of suburbs over, and you go more north up Sydney Road, and you go out past Thomastown and all that sort of stuff, all of a sudden there's big car industry out there. There's a big RV and camper van industry out there. You know, a dozen or more, you know, RV and camper van manufacturers and traders and all that sort of stuff in that area. And so yes, it'd be cool to see. You know, we were talking about diamonds before. Okay, I can't mine diamonds here. I've got to go somewhere else to mine diamonds. Yeah, that diversity is going to be super fun. All right, let's go back onto the old NOMAD. Now that we've done that, we'll park slightly to the side so we can get around the back. Yeah, that's not exactly great, but you know, whatever, it'll do. If it was a half a foot wider, actually, I was going to say if it was half a foot wider, that would be great. But you know what would be even better? Is not being able to get stuck inside the tires. I thought the lore behind Pyro, says Scarred, was that it was strip mined and abandoned by the Cropos. Look, I'm sure it was, you know, strip mined, but you know, that's from a commercial perspective, right? Let's take the goldfields here, right, in Victoria. All gone. The gold rush of the, you know, 18th century is gone, right? But people still gold mine there. People still go there and prospect. People still find gold that's worth going to find on a hobby basis or on a very small commercial basis. So I'm sure, I have no doubt that Pyro still has a lot of value there. Just, you know, from a, you know, a multi-planetary based organization, it's not worth it. But for someone in their prospector, actually, I really want the prospector now. Prospector or vulture. It makes sense, right? To, you know, still be going out there and finding the goodness. Yeah, that wouldn't it be cool if X aspect of the community should last long after the game is released. It would keep the game alive. I have no doubt. You know, and as Chris Roberts has mentioned, you know, this game will be, you know, hopefully in development for however long that I've left some gems behind. This is unacceptable and we must retrieve them. So over 1,000 credits worth of gems there on the ground at 275 credits each, but you know, if I was not careful with my mining, some of them might only be worth 15. But for the moment, they're all worth 275, so we shall get them with our tiny gobbler. Where is our tiny gobbler? Let's go, gobbler. I'm loving that, by the way, holding down 2 to be able to quick select the weapons. And I think Acorn had mentioned before that the hotkeys at the moment don't work. And how do I put this into extraction mode? Is it B? Collection mode. All right. Does this not show me the gems then? Well, that makes things very difficult. It makes things very difficult indeed. Back to the rock! Yeah, I love being able to hold down that 2 key now. And it either just rapidly equips, you know, my rifle, or I can hold it down and select what I want. And this fucking rifle is amazing. I need to get a scope on it. It is so powerful. It's fast. I haven't figured out yet. Apparently you're able to re-pull ammo or restock ammo from your backpack or something like that. I haven't figured that out yet. You know, I haven't been in the situation where I've needed to go, okay, let's just quickly take a break and jump into the options and figure that out. But that's... Oh, yep, back on my ass again. Magda, thanks very much. It's always windy here. I love that. That's great. And so, yeah, being able to use the 2 key just to bring up the radial wheel of everything that I'm carrying is... I love it. All right, let's go get these gems we've left behind. How do we miss all of these? It's unacceptable. Amateur hour here at After Dark. Bring back the darkness so I can see these markers easier. Oh boy. Nice, chill, easy money. Alright, there we go. I think that's everything. Looky like it. There we go, let's go. Close up the doors so it doesn't get full of dust or collide with our tractor beam, which I have yet to use. I'm at, yep, back on my ass again. Thanks, Magda. I was just going to say, I was talking about the max lift before to move the rock around, but the bloody Nomad has a tractor beam. I've never used it. I don't know how it works. At some stage, we'll figure it out. This is the thing I was talking about with that F key not working properly. What's that, sweetheart? I don't know. Yep, back on my ass again. Is that, yeah, this interaction key doesn't always work as it's intended to work. There we go. We got it. Pro stream promotion revoked. What's that, sweetheart? Yes, darling, it's 9:15. It's time for bed, sweetheart. No, darling, it's time for bed. All right, let's get out of here. What's going on here? Okay, yep, pick up the box. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen. Now, for some reason, we're trying to place a water bottle on the ground. The water bottle represents the box. I gotcha. Gotcha. That's one of the new intricacies. Oh, boy. Alright, let's go. You sure that's a rock over there? What is the IRC? Yeah, for sure. It's so small. Yeah, those little pebbles down there. Gotta get ourselves a prospector. Prospector or a vulture, chat? What do you guys reckon? What would you buy? You had the cash for one or the other? Would you get a vulture and get into the salvage? Or would you grab the prospector and, you know, step up into the next realm of mining? I'm kind of tempted by the vulture simply because it's a different type of game loop in a different region of the game. You know, obviously with the prospector being, you know, more terrestrial based, and the vulture more so out in space. Clive, you'd grab the prospector. I haven't been out in my prospector for quite some time. Gems down here somewhere. Yeah, I haven't been prospecting for quite some time. I don't know what's changed, what hasn't. I've been seeing in the comments, and people are blaming it on the duping that's going on, that there seems to be an issue with salvaging at the moment. What doth just happened then? 30k? A 30k? Has my internet gone? Has my internet gone? YouTube says everything is good. OBS says everything is good. 30k? What is this 30k? You can still see me, CT? Hey, Dogs13, how are you, mate? Vulture and scrap panels is good money. What the hell, man? 30k. What happened to the old server? What did it say? Server error. Please wait. What? Yeah, okay, so I wonder why that server didn't do its recovery. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a bummer. There goes those gems. This is what Rusty was talking about earlier on. It sort of gave up on the game because, you know, his mining experience was constantly being, you know, broken by 30Ks. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll log back into the ship. Whilst we're waiting for this to load. Oh, okay, so here we go. We're in. No, back in Lawville. So be it. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about that? The change that I've heard them talking about, in terms of, you know, loading back into the game in the last place you logged off from. You know, like, excuse me, most MMOs, wherever you log out from, that's where you log back into, right? So if I logged out standing outside this elevator, I'd log back in standing outside the elevator. Alright, that's a bit of a bummer. We have lost the ship. And we have lost the rock. And we have lost the gems. Clive, you had a strange glitch when 323 went live. None of your ships had fuel when I started playing. Wow, that's crazy. Makes sense, you can cheat your way out of some bad situations now by just logging off. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of do like the idea that we should be able to log off wherever we want.
Or attempting to trespass on
but I can't remember which game it was. I can't remember. But you could log off anywhere you want. But if you didn't go to bed and log off, when you logged back on, this might have been a server, like a custom server for Neverwinter Nights, from way back in the early 2000s, right? Neverwinter Nights was, you know, not an MMO. It was an online RPG, but not MMO. The servers were capped to like 40 players or 20 players or whatever people wanted their server to be capped at. I think it was probably one of those, because if you didn't go to bed, when you woke up standing in the mine or outside the mine or in the forest or wherever you were, all your clothes were damaged and, you know, needed to be repaired. Your health was absolutely terrible because you'd just been out there in the wilderness, right? And so from that perspective, I think something like that here would help in some ways alleviate the concerns that people have about, well, that just, you know, what's the point of bed logging if we can just log out from anywhere? Because A, it gives people the flexibility and the options to be able to play the game that they want to be able to play the game. And if they do just want to be able to log out in the wilderness and log back in, then why not? Let them do that. As long as they're prepared to deal with the fact that, you know, all their shit's going to be rusty and ruined or potentially stolen, their health isn't going to be fantastic, and they're going to have to deal with all of that when they log back in. I'm going to go mole and rock mining later after the stream. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time, man. Yeah, I haven't been in the Prospector or the mole for many a moon. Let's go check out New Deal. It would give more benefit to having beds and such on your ship. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, those sorts of things just add value. As long as that value is added, right? Rather than just like mitigating the need for the bed by simply saying you can log out anywhere you want and then just log back in. If there was no debuff or no negative to just logging back in anywhere you want, then that's disappointing. Okay, so I didn't see it here, but maybe I wasn't looking properly. Drake. Combat, Mule, Cutter, Corsair. It's there, the Drake Vulture. Okay. So the Drake Vulture is 2.6. Or otherwise the Misk. Misk. Excuse me. Prospector. Okay, it's almost 3. Almost 3 million for a Prospector. I think they used to be 1.6 or something. Okay, so we've still got a fair bit of grinding to do. If we want to be able to buy either of those ships. I'm loving the changes to the Moby-Glass. And at the moment, my rep is non-existent. So we only have very low-paying missions. And I have noticed that the bunker missions, perhaps it's just, you know, where I am, there doesn't seem to be very many bunker missions. They're very, very rare now. I don't know, excuse me. 17 likes, wow. Thank you. I don't know if that's because everybody's doing bunker missions because other things aren't working, or you know, or some situation, or yeah, I don't know why that is. I do always seem to see these Copion missions. I think because most people don't like going in the caves. I really enjoy it. Although I did get stuck in one cave a couple of days ago, and it took me half an hour, maybe more, to find my way out. And at the end of that half hour / maybe more, it was becoming a little bit frustrating. Can the Vulture be rented in game now? That I'm not sure of. I did have a look at the kiosk over here and I couldn't see it. So perhaps like the Cutlass Black and the Rock and stuff, they need to be rented from a station. Here we can only get the Dragonfly, right, from Drake. But you can rent the Cutlass Black and the Rock on... Can you rent a Rock? I'm pretty sure you can. Up at the space station. So maybe you can rent it from the terminals up there on the space stations.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Alright, that's a bit of a bummer. Let's claim this back.
Your insurance
Yeah, I don't know why
claim
that
has
server
been sent.
recovery didn't work before. That's disappointing. Maybe we'll make a stop.
Please visit us.
Actually, you know what I'm kind of keen to do? Oh no, I was going to say I'm keen to do some bunker missions, but there are no bunker missions. Otherwise, I was going to say we'll go up to the space station up at Everest. We'll see if we can hire a Vulture there. But while I'm there, I'll grab a couple of storage boxes to chuck on the back of the Nomad, and we'll go loot a couple of bunkers. But there doth be no bunker missions. And I think for the time being, we shall venture forth with our rock mining. Oh, one other thing I did notice. This research mission to deploy a probe. This used to be worth 2.5 grand. I have now done this mission 4 or 5 times. Simply because it's worth 9 grand. It makes way more sense just to duck out and go do this mission. It's a simple little mission. Go grab a probe from a vending machine and take it out into space and deploy it. It's a fun, simple a little mission and earned you 9 grand. 9.5 grand. They did add more FPS missions for bounty hunting, it seems. Did they? I haven't looked at the bounty hunter stuff. I haven't even done the permit. And I have never, since I've started playing Star Citizen a couple of years back, ever done a PvP bounty hunter mission. I don't think I've ever done this certification to go capture another player. I've never hunted another player. It's just not something I'm interested in. Very much a PvE person. Oh boy. So we shall wait for our NOMAD to be reclaimed. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. I always go to Magda. We don't have the equipment to survive on Abedine. We can go to Abedine and survive for a little while. But I have noticed that on Magda, having had frostbite now and had ended up with tier 3 injuries. Yeah, let's go to Abedine. Let's go to Abedine and see what it's like. I've got a feeling that we're going to need the suit. We are definitely going to need the suit. If the environmental effects on Magda, where it's cold, have been as significantly different than they have been in the past, if that's any indication, then Abedine is certainly, given it's extremely hot there, going to fry us very, very quickly. We cannot buy here at Lawville, I do not think we can, a Pembroke suit. I know at the cargo centres we get the Novikov. Let's go have a quick look. If we can buy the Novikov at the cargo centres, we can't buy the Pembroke there. Oh, you know where we buy the Pembroke from? The refineries. The refineries. Tammy and Sons don't have one. I don't think so. I don't recall seeing one there, but then again, I've never really paid attention. So they may have it. But I certainly know we can get them from the refineries, so I will do that instead of spending a few more minutes running back and forth.
To the following location.
The 34K investigator mission is so much fun in the new disruptor center, in the distribution centers. I've never been to one of those yet.
Please visit us again.
You know, lots of things to explore, lots of things to do, you know. Yeah, I've never been to one of the new distribution centers. I think because there's, you know, for me at least, and I guess for everybody, you know, learning 323 and, you know, the new flight modes and stuff like that, and having to rebind and set up all your key binds and stuff. And I haven't gone through and done all my certifications. Like normally every patch, I'll just go fly around and do all the certifications first. So that way it doesn't matter where I end up, I can get a mission, whether I'm over near, you know, Crusader or down near, you know, Arc Corp, or I've got a mission there, right? But I haven't done that this patch, and I think the reason for that is, you know, just getting used to the 323, which I haven't done. I basically did a couple of missions, and then it was like, I'm going to go rock mining, and then since then I've been rock mining. And then I thought, let's get a stream going, man. And go rock mining. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I've no doubt, dogs, no doubt. Ah, battery's slow. Alrighty. Clip a wall on the way out.
Thank you, and please visit again.
There it is, Everest Harbour, up there in the sky. Silver lining of 30k, fully functional rock. My other one was fully functional. We went and repaired it. We made a special mission. But yes, now we do get to get a brand new rock. I don't think we need anything from Everest. And I do like this search function. If you can spell things properly. I like the fact that you can just hover over something. Yeah, and then click R to set a route for it. Oh no, hang on. Let's go. We're going to Abedine, right? Alright, let's go to Anderson. What is that popping sound? Am I getting 8 frames at the moment? That's what that popping sound is. The game trying to load my frames. Oh boy. Alright, let's get up to Abedine and go see how long we can survive over at Abedine for. I don't think we're going to survive for very long. I wonder what the atmosphere. It's been a while since I've been at Abedine. It either has a really clear atmosphere and it's quite nice to be there, or it's just this thick, hazy fog and just impossible to see anything. It looks like we're arriving on a day where we've got a thick, hazy fog. And we're not going to be able to see anything. I have also noticed that if you're in nav mode and you're going too fast, you can switch into fight mode, SCM mode or whatever, combat mode, and it rapidly decreases your speed. So that's quite good when you're approaching somewhere. Oop. Switch into that mode. Does have some pads. The NOMAD does have, seems to, and I don't know if this is just a general thing with all ships in general, but the NOMAD, when you turn it back on itself, it really does arrest its momentum. Alright, let's get that bed down, engines off, up out of the seat. Alright, let's see how quickly we get cooked out here. Got a helmet on? Got a helmet on. $100 degrees. 130 degrees. 160 degrees. 169 degrees Celsius. Toasty. Okay.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle
I think we
retrieval
might need to
system.
do a little bit of looting while we're here, so we'll get our claim going.
Your insurance claim has please visit
Because
us again.
we've lost all the stuff that
Goodbye.
we would have had in the Nomad. Grab a couple of these drinks. That'll do us. Given we've got a couple of minutes, we might as well have a bit of a run around and see what's out there. Hit landing gear is like pulling the handbrake. Yeah. Yeah, I do like the fact that it arrests your momentum to 30 meters a second. You'd like to see a larger series Nomad, like a bigger flatbed truck? Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. 170 degrees Celsius. It's hot, hot, hot. It is nice and clear though today. See how we go. Abedine being the Hadonite capital of Stanton, so they say. What doth be happening with the textures? Well, we seem to be alright so far for, you know, just a very quick run around this outpost. Anything in here of note? What have you got for us? Oh yeah. Won't say no. Oops, there's me pressing the control button and getting on the floor. Nothing up there. Alrighty, alrighty. Hadonite, heat, and escaped convicts. Good old Abedine. Sounds a bit like Australia. Whoa. Jacket. Some chockies. Who else has a pattern for this building in terms of how they search the rooms? I always come in, I look for the chests first, then I search the far room, then I search this corner room, then I search the one that's closest to the door, and then I leave. Who else has a pattern? Why I don't search the room closest to the entrance first, I have no idea. Maybe because the boxes are always here and I go to the boxes first. Needs more snakes, spiders, and other cool animals for that. You think your pattern is random every time, Akeda? Yeah, it's so weird. I noticed it the other day. That I do the same thing. Yeah, I can't wait until there's more fauna. The dogs are cool. I haven't seen any of the birds. And the dogs that I did come across weren't terribly active. Although they did move and they did come after me. Yes, more animals. Nothing? Nothing? Not a single box? Not a single box? Rude. Alright, let's go get our rock and get back on with what we are supposed to be doing. A little bit of rock mining. Where are we at? What's the time? It's 11:15. I'm looking forward to this. I spend so long flying around Magda when I'm rock mining. It is my go-to place. That being somewhere different. Completely different. As Abedine is. I do wonder why the grasses and stuff keep flashing on and off.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Alright, let's go.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
If the components for the rock were accessible in more places other than just Microtech, I don't know if you can get them from anywhere other than Microtech, it's the only place that I'm aware of, then I probably would upgrade my rock, but having to go up to Microtech every time I need components is a massive annoyance. Motherfig! Hello, welcome back. Well, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Here at After Dark for just a little bit of Star Citizen. It's been a while, Matt. It's been a while. Why am I using my sticks? I don't normally drive with sticks. Obviously I can, but I'm just more comfortable on keyboard and mouse. Oh. The grass is back. That was a beautiful park. There we go. You're on a quick break, are you? Well, I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Oh boy. Let's close that door up. Alright, let's go. What have you got, Abedine? What have you got? Let's go. 169 degrees. I guess this is one downside of the Nomad, is that it's not very quick and easy just to run into. Like if you needed to have a quick break from the elements, just being able to quickly run up a ramp into the back of something is way easier than having to climb up a ladder and all that sort of stuff. Because you know, even running onto the back of the Nomad, it's not, obviously doesn't give you any protection, right? Let's go. Random direction. Mountains are not my friend. You've been salvaging panels in the Halo in-game. So this is one thing that I'm interested to check out. Is the scanning for scrap, is it working now? Is, you know, do scrap have a certain IR signature that you can, you know, hone in on and you know, find? Because the last time that I played, it was still very much, okay, you know, if you want to go salvaging, you've got to buy the contracts, because trying to find salvage is incredibly difficult. I think I am going to get the Vulture rather than the Prospector. I think because it gives me a completely different gameplay experience in a completely different environment. I don't enjoy prospecting out in space, simply because, and I think this is the reason why I love rock mining so much. You know, I really enjoy being close to the surface and just flying around and skimming around, and with the changes to mining, obviously that came in a while back with the mining major mining refactor. I don't really care what I'm mining. It's, you know, the Quantanium hunt has been going for a long time. And so being able to fly around and just zip around and just mine whatever you want is really, really nice. And so I guess from that perspective, that and rock mining are very, very similar. So I think I'll save up and I'll get the vulture. And then maybe I'll save up and get the prospector after that. It's tricky. The signals vanish after about 3 kilometers distance. Okay, wow. What have we got? Dolavine. Well, I could have found that on Magda. There should only be Hadonite here. Oh, boy. And I haven't been to Daymar. I don't want to say it because it's probably not going to be true, but I don't think I've ever been rock mining on Daymar. It sounds weird to say that, but I don't think I ever have been rock mining on Daymar. That can't be true. That can't be true. If I have been, it was a long time ago. Here we go. Let's go block this hat. Grass! Magda doesn't have grass. Abedine doesn't have wind. One panel nets 12 SCU of RMC, so it's worth it. Wow, that's a lot, man. That's a vulture right there. Plus more. Can you still, because obviously the vulture has 12 cargo spots, right? Can you still stack the vulture and sell the RMC even if it's not on the grid? Or can you only sell what's on the grid now? And break over. Catch you later, dude. Thanks, Motherfig. I appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, mate. Enjoy your time at work. Hope it's a good one. I gotta say, it's been half a second, but it has actually really been really nice being somewhere different than Magda. Just to see a different sunset, a different sky, a different ground. Again, coming back to that whole quality thing, right? It would be cool if the Hadonite was different on the different moons. Either the quality of them, or the level of them, or the amount, or I was going to say the sizes of the nodes, but, you know, that doesn't exist, and I guess neither does the quality of the gems. But that, you know, that could be another thing. If you want a consistent lot of small nodes, then you go to Magda. If you want to find larger nodes, but perhaps less infrequently and perhaps of a higher quality, you go to Abedine, because the environment there is more suitable to, you know, the formation of that type of crystal. That type of stuff would be cool. So that, you know, if I did want to, it would make sense. Say, okay, well, I'm going to go over to Daymar because I do only have half an hour. And, you know, I want to collect some of that type of Hadonite because it's in demand at this place. That would be cool. You can have 23 in the back plus 13 in the hopper. Oh yeah, they've got internal storage now, don't they? But I'm assuming you can't sell what's in the hopper, so you can sell the 23 that are in the back, the ones that are on the grid and the ones that are off the grid. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, Dogs. Plus then you've got the 13 in the hopper, so you can come back to your ship, eject out those 13 in the hopper, and then run back to the TDD and sell those. Is that what we're able to do now? Yeah, okay, so we need, what was it, 2.7 or 2.6 something. Let's just say 2.7 for the Vulture. So we need, what are we at? We're at about 125 at the moment. 1.25. So we need another 1.5 million. Or thereabouts. There we go, that's a couple of evenings rock mining and we'll have that. Yes. Okay, Dogs, that's cool. I like that. Vulture it is. Actually, you know what I might do with this character is rather than... Not that we have like full mission trees and rep and all that sort of stuff, but I think maybe this character... Okay, our body's starting to warm up a little bit. It's 230 degrees. And we do have a temperature indicator on the screen. We'll see how long we can last for. I might keep this character as my industrial character. Rock mining, salvage, prospecting. They're the three major industrial loops, aren't they? Rock mining, salvage, and prospecting. I wouldn't call, cargo hauling an industrial profession. I would more consider that a trading profession. And at this point in time, it is the only type of its profession. I would consider trading and hauling to be part of the logistics profession. Oh yes, one other thing I'm super keen to find out actually if Rhino was here, he'd know all about it. I noticed that you can buy the saddlebags now. So does that mean you can go mining, for example, in a mole, rip off full saddlebags, give them to somebody in another ship, a transport ship of some type, and they can take them off to the refinery? That'll be interesting to see if that's now the case. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how we go moving forward. Once I get back to work, I know I don't have a lot of time. I work in the evenings. I obviously work a night shift. And I did say before that, I might be able to get around to streaming on the weekends and stuff, and that just didn't pan out. I think I just got quite used to the fact that I can just go to work, do my job, and then come home and not have to worry about work afterwards, and I can do whatever I want. And so that involved just a whole bunch of pottering around, a whole bunch of watching the TV, a whole bunch of just who knows what, right? And at that stage, certainly no Star Citizen. So we'll see how we go moving forward. I do miss this game. I do miss streaming. I do love the interactions with chat, especially when there's a lot going on. I'm so thankful for the people who have turned up tonight. It's been 8 months or more since I've streamed. I don't know, maybe 6 months or more, who knows. But we've got 12 people watching right now. We've got 18 likes on YouTube. I think I saw it peaked out at one stage at 17 concurrent viewers. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your time with me. And it's reminded me, why I enjoy doing this. It's reminded me why YouTube has been a huge part of all of my hobbies, is because, of the opportunity to interact with people, either here in the live stream or by, reading and responding to and engaging with comments. It's just a wonderful extension of the game. A bit of server lag on that. Sylvester has joined us. Glad to have you back, dude. Well, it's very nice. Like I was just saying, it's wonderful to be back. It's very nice to be playing the game, especially after such a significant update and so many changes. So many things are fresh and new and exciting and aggravating and annoying and frustrating and exciting. And to certainly be back streaming again. Well, not to be back streaming again, but to jump on and stream. It's been wonderful. Good to see you back. No other streamers do Tim Tam Slams. Is what makes me different. It is why people come to my channel to watch the Tim Tam Slams. Oh fuck, it's getting pretty bright now. 41 degrees. We're starting to see things. And we're taking damage. Alright, we gotta get back in the ship. This is not a good sign. This is what started happening when I got hypothermia and ended up with tier 3 injuries. Let's break this last rock. And I think we might go jump in the ship for a second. Alright, let's leave the rock here. Let's leave those gems there. Ah, this is not good. Let's go jump back in the ship real quick. Cool off. Have a nice ice cold cruise. Come on, work. Let me in. Yes, my body temperature. I'm taking damage. I'm trying to seek shelter. But these new mechanics aren't working. Jump. In we go. We're taking a lot of damage. We're taking a lot of damage. Helmet's off. What's the command now? Alt H. Oh boy. Sunspots. You can't see. Oh boy, that was lucky. Let's have a little sit down. Phew. Phew. Be back in a bit. Lurk mode engaged. Got a meeting. I hope it's a good meeting, Ikata. Thanks very much, mate. Oh, boy. Oh, we're taking a huge amount of damage. How the hell do I cool down? How the hell do I cool down? Drugs? I'm inside my ship. I got no helmet on. Let's get naked. This cooldown is brutal. Wow, environmental effects are actual environmental effects now. Previously, you could just jump inside your ship and you just rapidly cool down. Excuse me. You're taking damage from hypothermia. As opposed to hypothermia? I think so. Alright. Phew! Let's put our armor back on. I'm sure that's giving us some sort of benefit. Where's our helmet gone? Are you kidding me? Stolen my helmet. Equip helmet. Left Alt and H. Hold it down. It's stolen my helmet! Yep, Stuart, you might be lucky you need the Pembroke suit. Yep, I think that's clearly evident. We need the Pembroke suit. Previously, you used to be able to break up a small cluster of nodes, gobble them up and get back in your ship and be okay. But we've taken a fairly significant amount of damage, had to use some drugs, and the game has stolen my helmet. Which means the rock is now stuck out there. And so are all the gems. Ah, that's a bummer. It doth be a bummer. Okay, I wonder if we can make it back to Anderson. Doors closed. If we can make it back to Anderson and retrieve a helmet. I'm pretty sure we found some helmets there. Is it in the backpack? It is... That's... I didn't see it. But that's a very good question. And I didn't see it because I don't have my backpack on. It is not in my backpack. Making me sad face. Let's try the helmet thing again. Alt H. We got a helmet from somewhere. It's a magical helmet. Hang on, wait a minute. Let's do that again. Alt H. Taking the helmet off. Yep, helmet's off. It is not in the ship's inventory. And it is not in my backpack. I have shoved it up my... Alt H. Oh, you gotta hold it. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Alt H. Nope, we get a helmet. Okay, so that helmet is being stored somewhere. Thank you, chap. But I'm not exactly sure where it's being stored. Alright, let's get back in this rock. Let's get these gems. And I do think we can't risk too much more of that nonsense. Let's... Hopefully at some stage this interaction key works and we can get back in the rock. There we go. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. Try again. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try again. Let's go. Okay, we're in. Okay, so we're definitely going to need a Pembroke suit for Abedine now, or taking more frequent breaks after a short period of mining activity. Which in any other ship would be much easier. It's just that, you know, climbing into the NOMAD, certainly with the way that the new interaction system is functioning, where it's not always entirely smooth as we've just witnessed. If I was in a different ship, let's just say for example the C1, where you can have the back ramp down, drive the rock out, do your mining, get out of the rock and just run up in the ramp and just wait for a minute or two and then run back out, rather than having to go up and down the ladder and stuff. It clips to the backpack. Like a backpack. Yeah, body temperature is already starting to rise. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to go get a Pembroke suit. We might overheat just collecting these gems. We've already overheated mining them. I do like it. See, now it gives you a reason, right, to have to get the Pembroke suit, to have to get the Novikov, to actually be prepared for what you're doing. Either I didn't turn the engine on or it overheated and shut down. There might be actual purpose now in having to upgrade the coolers and stuff. If you're going to go to this environment where it's incredibly warm, you actually do need to be prepared now. Whereas before you could kind of just get away with it. I like that. I like it. See, so now by the time I outfit the Nomad with, you know, an undersuit and some armor, a Pembroke suit and its helmet, a Novikov and its helmet, the amount of storage that I've got left in the Nomad's going to be limited for how many gems I can collect. Inside the Nomad, you can only put the little 1/8 SCU boxes. You can get a 1 SCU... No, you can't even get a 1 SCU box through the door. You can get the 1/8 SCU boxes in there. So you can put some additional storage in there. And the ROC has a 1/8 SCU storage capacity. So I guess if you chucked a bunch of those containers up in the ship, and then did your mining, filled up the ROC, parked it on the back of the Nomad, transferred the gems into the ship's local inventory or internal inventory, boarded the ship, and then transferred from the internal inventory into one of the containers, then, you know, that gives you, you know, more storage capacity. Because, yeah, by the time I put the other suits of armor, you know, just thinking from the perspective of always having the ROC ready for whatever situation I want to be in. Rather than going, okay, I'm going to go to Abedine, let me go organise a Pembroke suit, and okay, now I want to go to Magda or Eta or somewhere where it's cold, and now I need to get a Novikov. The Nomad is just outfitted with those things that it needs for these types of expeditions. It's going to eat up that inventory, that storage space. How's the stream looking, everyone? Is it okay? My preview on YouTube seems to have paused and seems to be a significant period behind where I am actually where I am now in the game. OBS, none of the meters seem to be working. Is the stream smooth? Is it clear? Is the audio okay? Is the image quality okay, or are we getting a whole bunch of buffering? YouTube does say that the stream health is excellent, but the preview seems to have stopped. You know, we are only on YouTube at the moment. We'll see how we go for the next couple of streams when I manage to get them in, how things go. And then if things are smooth and stable for those streams that we do, then we might be able to tune Twitch back in. And I'll have to figure out why all of a sudden, whenever I'm in Star Citizen, everything around it stops working. The YouTube stops playing videos. I can still hear the sound, but just the videos stop. My bar meters, the audio bars in OBS stopped working. And that only just started happening just today for randomly no reason, even after I restarted the computer. Switching the Toby on and off did seem to make an adjustment to something at some stage, but that seems to have stopped working, so maybe it's not the Toby. Long overdue for a a refresh. Ah, crash. I think we might just try and move over a little bit so we can get down the side a little bit easier. Should be good. Engines off. Up and out of the seat. Our body temperature is fairly significant. Don't get in the seat. Okay, we're going to have to get back in the ship. We're going to start taking damage again any minute now. Yeah, okay, we need a Pembroke. If you're coming to Abedine, get a Pembroke suit. Holy crumptaculations, it didn't used to be like this. So if this interaction menu was a bit more... less janky. Let's get these gems inside the ship. Now let's get back inside the ship. We're going to start taking damage again. 41 degrees body temperature. At least this works nice and efficiently. Alright. Why is the toilet door open? Let's close that. Let's get this helmet off the old way. So I know where it is. Yeah, if it clipped onto the side of the backpack and you could see it there, then that would make sense. But given it just seems to get stored in the ether for the time being, I don't like that. Alright, temperatures are decreasing. Let's gobble this down, even though we don't really need anything for our hydration at the moment. Just have it anyway. Let's go. Drop that on the floor, please. Yes! Whew! A refinery. Where is the refinery? There it is. Faithful Dream. What? Okay, there's still some jank here. I do like how on the left you can see it's got hangars, landing pads, vehicle services, and a docking bay. But it doesn't say refinery. I thought her L2, I thought both of these on each side of Hurston, both of them were refineries. Hangar, landing pad, vehicle services, and docking. Also features a refinery. Maybe it's just in the text. Maybe there's no icon for it. Everything looks and sounds great. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Sylvester. Seems good to me. Thanks, Flossie. Boxes are a bit glitched at the moment. Stream running great this end. Okay, good. Well, that's good. At least I know that everything that I'm seeing in terms of OBS telling me that everything is good and YouTube telling me that everything is good, even though everything on YouTube seems to be paused and everything in OBS seems to be paused. Everything seems to be good. Thank you. Normally, stream health is wonky enough. It locks up when I'm watching from here stateside. Today it has been super smooth. Okay, cool. That's good. I need sunscreen. I do indeed, Sylvester. Star Citizen's magic hat rack. Yes, the disappearing helmet. Okay, so how do we get... Double click on that. Takes us to some mining claim. Take us to this refinery. And yeah, okay, so the icon doesn't show us a refinery or unless... Oh, hang on. No, you got to scroll down. Oh, you got to scroll down. There's lots of stuff here. There's a food court. You can rent ships. We buy ship items and weapons. What? And there's a refinery. Let's go there. Sounds like a treat. Let us go. And we shall go get the Gypsy Queen, who has lost her livery. I must have sold it or cashed it in for store credit when I was on my ship buying craze last year. Because we've lost the beautiful blue paint that the Gypsy Queen used to have, which is now stock. Look at that beautiful paint that we can see so well in the darkness. Alright, let's go. 1.2 gigamiles. Gigameters? 1.2 gillion meters? Why doth my quantum not work? Here we go, it works. Just takes a bit of time. Lock mode engaged. Didn't realise you could scroll down there. Neither did I. I saw the icons there, but because they were sort of greyed out, I just like, oh, maybe there are other icons, and if they were there, they'd be highlighted. But no, you have to scroll down a little bit. That's cool. Yeah, I'm really enjoying, you know, all of these changes in 3.23. Yes, there's been some things that have been a little bit frustrating, a little bit annoying, but, you know, that's just, you know, getting used to change and getting used to how things are, you know, are different. For example, I've never worn a Fat Man suit. What are they called? It's not called a puffer jacket. We're on our way to buy one now. I've been talking about it non-stop. The Pembroke suit. I've never worn a Pembroke suit. Never had to wear one before, but now, just in the space of having to mine what is a, you know, not a small size cluster, but a medium sized cluster of nodes, which in the past I could have mined quite satisfactorily, mined and, you know, collected, and been at the point where, okay, I'm hot, I need to get back into the ship, but have managed to do the job. Now, no, you can't do it. You need the Pembroke suit. Lots of changes. You can tell there are more people working on the game from Squadron 42. Yeah, you know, I'm excited, man. You know, I have tuned in periodically. I've watched a little bit of YouTube, some Space Tomato, and, you know, a little bit of Astropub and stuff. But I really haven't kept up with. I certainly haven't played anything. I haven't really kept up with what's going on. And like I said, certainly haven't played anything. So it's been nice. Let's engage that SCM slots. Whoa! Check that out. That slams us into the screen.
Thank you.
Slow us down super quick. Let's go back into nav mode. Let's get ourselves a landing bay. Back into SCM. Whoa! Give the screen a little kiss. That's a nice way to slow down real quick. And then just as we get to the door, we can engage our landing gear. That'll slow us down to 30. There we go. And then we can come in for a beautiful crouch landing.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Alright, let's refuel while we're here.
Have a pleasant stay.
Landing. Let me just quickly check something real quick. Or maybe we can't do it from inside the station. I'll naff about with that a bit later on. Yeah, I just came back this patch from not playing since November last year. I was saying this earlier on, Akator. I haven't seen a whole bunch of the YouTubers and stuff that I used to see. You know, I used to be able to go to my subscriptions on YouTube and you know, 6 out of 10 times there'd be someone streaming. But now everyone seems to be playing different games, and I did get a message, I can't remember who it was from, about Michael from Star Streams. Obviously, you know, he got quite frustrated with Star Citizen and played a bunch of other games for quite some time, but now he seems to be going through some health issues, which is very sad to hear. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be... I think people really fell off quite a lot. And that's why I asked, you know, who's playing or you know, who's come back to 3.23.
Welcome to the ASOP
You know, it's a
vehicle
big
retrieval
patch. There's a
system.
lot of changes. And so maybe people will come back just to check things out and go, yes, no,
Please
yes, no,
visit us
whatever.
again.
And then, you know, disappear again. I'm sure there's a segment of the game that pops in, plays a patch for a couple of days or a week or two or whatever, and then just disappears and then comes back at the next patch and just to check things out. And then obviously you got your diehards who just constantly play. And then obviously you got your content creators who kind of have to. You know, it's their job, right? And if they're not enjoying it, a lot of them don't really show it. I guess they wouldn't be doing it. That's one of the traps, I suppose. Being a content creator, you know, if you're creating content for something that you don't really enjoy, but you've got to keep creating that content. And you know, I don't really want to talk too much about other people. I did see Michael mention that after he stopped playing Star Citizen, he really saw a big impact on his viewers. Actually, we could just buy it off the rack here. Try on buy hold F. Processing transaction. That's fucking sick. Yeah, boy. Oh, that's sick. Right, let's check out kiosks here. Drake. Okay, we can rent the Cutlass Black, but we can't rent the Vulture. At least not from the refineries. We couldn't rent it from the Vantage terminals. They're down at Lawville. But we can buy it, but we cannot rent it. It would seem. We can rent a Prospector. 73 grand to rent a Prospector, hey? What's the time? It's 12. How long have we been on for? Hour and a half? That doesn't sound right. Started at 9, 10, 11, 12, 3. Because I've been live for an hour and a half. Did the stream drop out at some point? Maybe that's what that 30k was. Maybe my internet did drop out for like 5 seconds and then came back in. And that was enough to disconnect me from the game. It wasn't a 30k, so to speak. The server didn't 30k. I had a connection error, which is a 30k, from the server because my internet dropped out for a second because OBS says I've been live for an hour and 30 minutes and 38 seconds, but I've been live for way longer than that. That might explain why I had that server disconnection. The 30k. Let's go up to the Galleria. Yeah, most of the constant Star Citizen content people are covering more like news and development stuff than things like gameplay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, like Space Tomato, who I watch quite a lot of, you know, he's, you know, and Paul Shelley, I guess, they're the two people that I watch the most. You know, one is following the game's development and news. One of them's talking about the lore. They're not playing, you know, hours and hours and hours and hours at a time, constantly, all the time. Certainly they do play, but, you know, unlike, excuse me, other content creators who perhaps, you know, that's their main form of content, is gameplay. That it can get very frustrating, I suppose. Is if that is your main type of content and your main type of gameplay, everything else I've got is aboard the ship. That's okay. I don't think we can buy... Oh, hang on. Is there a cargo deck here? No, there's not going to be a cargo deck as well. That'd just be... No, there'll be a Galleria, Habs, and a refinery. Yeah. that I guess it can get a little bit, you know, more real. I guess the burnout is a little bit more real, I suppose, if gameplay is dealing with the bugs and the frustration is your main content type.
Welcome
All right.
to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Yeah, I see you as being live for almost 3 hours now. Okay, I wonder why. OBS says I've been live for an hour and a half. That's what it does say. Hang on, what does YouTube say? YouTube doesn't tell me. Oh, it's been constant since 9. Stream health has been excellent since I started streaming. It's only one message there that says excellent. The average view duration has been 22 minutes and 53 seconds. I'm glad I can captivate someone for 23 minutes. Thank you. That's flattering. Now just make it longer. Oh boy. All right, let's go. You got what we needed from here. Hang on, 4, right? Yeah, I do like the changes to the UI, the icons. I don't know what those little icons on the top left are. This little eye and the cross circle thing here is. I don't know what happened to the comlink thing. And again, CIG is not great, or at least I haven't seen anything that says, you know, here's a picture of the UI and this is what's different. You know, this icon over here on the top left is called the Hergequetler Fergelbergler. And this icon up on the top right is called the Scalamandra Fangula Bangler. And this is what it means. Like in the scan mode when you're in your ship, you've got there's two abbreviations there, which are the worst abbreviations in the entire world. Let's have a look at them. Actually, we need to get that Pembroke suit before we go too much further. Can we get some power to the ship, please? You know, want to worky. There we go. And if we go to... note, that's the wrong thing. Nav mode. Alignment. Our scanner. So on the left you can see SGNL. I'm assuming that says signal strength. On the right it says something fucking weird. PIERC. Pierce. The fuck does that mean? It's a percentage that you can toggle up and down. 50%, 75%. I think that says 88% or maybe 80%, 94%, 97%, 98%, 99%. What the hell does that mean? And I haven't seen anything. Admittedly, I haven't gone looking to try and find out. You know, what that actually means. All right, before we go too far, let's get that suit. YouTube must have good buffering. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Alright, so just let's double check. Is our helmet here? Our helmet is here. Okay, let's put... Oh, what the town of business? That Pembroke suit takes us to 119%. I can't even fit it on the ship. I cannot fit it on the ship. Okay, well there goes the idea of having both the Pembroke and the Novikov on the ship. You're home now, Motherfig? Well, welcome home. Ship storage sucks. Yeah, that's a massive thing. That's huge. I knew that it was smaller. Right? Like, for example, in the ship right now, all we've got in there is 259 gems. And it's taken up 68% of the ship storage. That's all we've got in there at the moment. Let's stick those in the station. Okay, something's wrong. Something is wrong. It says I've got 47% stored in the ship. And there's nothing stored in the ship. Let's close the inventory. Let's reopen it. Let's go to our vehicles. 0%. Okay, let's put the suit in. Did you see that? It said 47%. What is this 47%? There are ghosts in the system. I have shown you the proof here. Give me a couple of hours and I will put on the Discord a letter that you can copy and send to your local member for Parliament and see if we can get something done about this situation. If anyone wants to start one of those online petition things, let me know. I'll get involved. But we need to find out where this 47% of ghost, non-existent stuff is coming from. Because it's fucking up my gameplay. I guess you have to boxify it. Yeah. 1 SEU crates. Yep. Sell the gems. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. This is Nomad goblins. Okay, so nothing. Let's grab something and move it around. Stick it over the top. Stick it over the top. Put it back. Nothing. Stick it over. So the suit is 47%. 4%. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable. What did that just say just before? So now we're back to 71. I won't be able to fit it in there. Okay, so let's put those in. Let's close our inventory. Let's reopen it. So we should be back. Okay, yep, perfect. Put that in there. It goes to 70% and then it overcaps to 116. It might be the Pembroke suit. Yeah, something weird's going on here. Alright, so we can get the Pembroke in. I don't think we're going to get the Novikov in. I do need to sell the gems. But, Motherfig, again, we're going to have to get boxes in here. As long as I can get... Because the Pembroke's not going to fit in anything other than a 2 SCU crate. And the 2 SCU crate means it's going to have to go on the back of the Nomad. If I put it on the back of the Nomad, it means it makes it very, very difficult to get the rock on there. Which is another bonus point for the C1, I suppose, or for any other ship like the Cutlass Black. I just want the Nomad to be the unrivaled king of ROC mining. But I guess it's not. Our whole life is a lie. I don't even have my phone anymore to phone someone who cares. Alrighty. Don't store the ship with the box on board. It will get eaten. Motherfig, I have noticed that. I did have in my C1 some boxes. I went looting, got my gremlin on. I had 8 SCU boxes aboard the C1. I did a bunch of bunkers. This was when I just came back into 323. I was like, yes! When I did a whole bunch of bunkers. Filled up the boxes, filled up 2 of them. So 16 SCU of loot. Came back. Had to go do something. So landed at Lawville, stored the ship. Went off, did my stuff. Came back and I was like, I'm going to sell all my loot now. And I was going to take the ship up to the cargo platform, the cargo deck up at Everest, and just sell the containers with everything in them, all in one fell swoop. Spawned the ship, boarded the ship, and was like, where the hell are my boxes? No boxes. Stored the ship, went down to Tammany and Sons, and went to the sell option, and I could sell stuff out of the boxes one by one. But I couldn't, you can't sell the boxes. You can only sell the whole entire box and all its contents at a cargo deck. But I could still sell stuff out of the box. Excuse me. Out of the boxes. They just weren't physicalized on the ship anymore. So I set up my macro, let that sell all the gear, and, you know, went off, watched YouTube, who knows, whatever. Yeah, it's super annoying. Hopefully that gets patched after Invictus is over. It's the Nomad now instead of the Nomad. Nomad now. There's no MAD. The MAD has become not useless. It just does mean that I can't have everything aboard that I want to have aboard to have this as my rock mining vehicle outfitted with food, drink, water, medical care, the suits of armor and stuff that we need, and still have storage space, let alone for all of that stuff, but a little bit of gems and stuff. Oh, that's a massive bummer. It is the only ship that I have that can carry a rock. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to be a little bit more tactful about what expeditions we do. If I'm going to be going somewhere where I require the Pembroke, then we take the Pembroke. If I don't need the Pembroke, then we leave it at home. Let us go.
You are clear to launch.
What? What is that, dogs? Night before the patch, I bought 31 quantum drives, put them in my Connie, flew home. Next day, couldn't fit one in the Connie to sell back. Sort of sucks now. Yeah, that's crazy. The C1 can carry a rock. Yeah, it can. The C1 is a wonderful ship for rock mining. The only negative that I've seen so far with the C1 in this patch is that it just chews up through hydrogen. It's very, very difficult to have an extended rock mining session in the C1 without having to go back and refuel after every second patch of gems. In the Nomad, I either run out of space first, or I can drop down and mine 5, 6, 7 patches of nodes. But in the C1, I think I've only taken it a couple of times and I was like, nah, fuck that, and the Nomad's going out now. I think I managed to get 2, maybe 3 patches, and I had to go back and refuel. It depends on the drive. I'm not talking about quantum fuel, I'm talking about hydrogen. And I don't think there's a drive that you can change that changes the hydrogen, right? You know, the quantum drive influences how quickly you'll use quantum fuel, but not hydrogen. Hydrogen is inbuilt to the ship itself. It's engines. Okay, let's go back to the Abedines. We'll chill on Abedine for a little bit. And then I think we shall say Auf Wiedersehen. We do want to just go back to Abedine and hit up a couple of patches and just see. You know, everyone says that Abedine is the king for, I don't know. A lot of people love Daymar. Oh my goodness! That asteroid was close. I myself love Magda because nobody is ever there. Daymar is full of things, right? There's lots and lots of places to go. You just constantly hear about piracy, or are used to at least, on Daymar because there's so many things there. There's so many people. It's right next to Grimheads. It's right next to Crusader. But no one's on Magda. There's 2 stations, Han and Perlman, and nothing else. There's no mining out. There's no security outposts. There's nothing there. So no one is ever there. You know, you randomly come across somebody every now and then. But let's go give Abedine a fair shot. Dogs, you use your Valkyrie for rock mining and take 2 rocks. Is that now, Dogs? How's the Valkyrie run with its hydrogen and stuff? Because every ship I've been in so far has had, you know, a balance pass on its hydrogen, and I can't imagine the Valkyrie would be a very efficient ship in atmosphere. Now you can run a Nurser and a rock to have medical respawn. See, this is another thing, right? Let's just go back up. Okay, it also says, need a true mid-sized origin ship with its on-board hydrogen refinery system that never runs out of fuel. Well, I don't think any of the hydrogen scoops work at the moment. And perhaps this may be another reason for the balance pass, is that they're getting ready to, you know, implement, you know, the hydrogen scoops that a lot of vehicles have on them. Who knows? That's just speculation, right? But the C1 Oh no, the C1 can't fit a Ursa in it. Otherwise, I was going to say you could take the C1 with an Ursa and a ROC, and you've got everything you need right there. Plus storage, right? CT, you get a run. Remember to thumbs up, and maybe come back later and comment. Great to see you, Viv. Chisel. Thanks, CT. Yeah, that's another thing. After the stream, pop back in, drop an emoji in, drop a THX after the stream ends, just to add a couple of comments to the comment section on the actual video. That way YouTube will go, actually, people are interested. They're not only watching the stream, but people are commenting as well. Let's rebuild this situation here at After Dark. Let's rebuild it. It does seem to work on the 100 eyes. Really? I don't want to go all the way there. Quickly interrupt the power. Shut that off. Let it flicker slowly back to life. It's too dark on that side. It does okay and flies good in that mode. Motherpig, my internet seems to be pretty okay now. We very rarely seem to ever have any issues with it. So from a streaming perspective, I don't think we're going to have too many issues. We haven't had any issues tonight, either in OBS or on YouTube. Oh my god, what's happening? Oh, fuck me. Glad nobody panicked. Oh, I hate Abedine so much. We're 4,000 meters off the ground, and I'm freaking out, man. Yeah, from a streaming perspective, I don't think we're going to have any issues. Oh my god! We're nowhere near the ground. Oh god, I hate this place. 2.2. I do like how the change that they've made to the altimeter. I did like the ribbon. The ribbon was more of a visual gauge, whereas this shows you the number, which is fine, but the visual gauge, was just a little bit more efficient, right? Because you've got that visual cue. Oh god. Yeah. So from a streaming perspective, I don't think we're going to have any issues. It's just from a getting back into the habit, setting up a routine, getting back into a timetable. We'll probably, on the weekends, I'll probably be able to stream in the evenings, but again, working during the night, during the week, I'll probably be able to stream during the day, so hitting up a completely different time zone and a whole group of new people, which is another challenge in and of itself. Which, if you do take a couple of minutes after the streams are finished, just to come back, or every now and then, if you're thinking about good old Crouchy, hop onto the channel, randomly load up a video, leave a random emoji. You don't have to mention anything, don't have to say anything. Just leave an emoji. That lets YouTube know that people are engaging with the videos, and so that way next time I'm live, it might show my channel to people in a different time zone who aren't familiar with me or aren't, subscribed yet. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of sorting out the schedule, sorting out the time that I can be streaming. But yeah, from an internet perspective, I don't think we're going to have any issues. I just caught this one out of the corner of my eye. I didn't have the Toby on, and the scanning has changed a little bit now, so you've got to be peering left and right. Where did they go? Oh, we're going to crash into the ground, 100%. 100%. Let's get the landing gear down. That's going to slow our speed down. I do like that the landing gear now limits the ship to 30 meters a second. I don't like Abedine either, motherfucker. Yeah, it's never been somewhere I've enjoyed being. Harder night. Here we go. Let's get the oh god, it's completely dark. Oh my god! Glad nobody panicked. I took the landing gear off, and so the ship just rapidly accelerated. Get some fucking lights on. Oh, it's always so calm and peaceful around here. It's amazing. Okay, that's not going to really work out very well. Let's get those engines back on. Something's happened to the camera too. Like you can't, like you can zoom. Oh, what have I changed it to now? I don't remember what I've changed it to. That's not working now either. Yeah, you know how you used to be able to move the camera around in Freeview? That doesn't seem to work at the moment, and I saw somebody else comment on that saying, hang on, this doesn't work anymore. So it's not just me. Getting back on the horse. Back later's mother. Thanks, mate, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We will be wrapping up shortly. I'll give this another... Oh, wait a minute. Let's get our suit on. That's what we went to go and get. But we will wrap up shortly, and then we'll see what we do moving forward. I'll probably be back on again this weekend. There's not much going on this weekend, so... do I have enough storage space to be able to get changed? Yes, just. Let's go, Pembroke. Protected. Protected. You should change to SCM mode so your shields are up. Nah, I don't like that level of paranoia, man. Why are we suffocating? Why are we suffocating? Nah, if we get blown up, we get blown up, man. It just makes it more interesting. In the how many thousands of hours I've played Star Citizen, I've never once met a pirate. Not once. And it makes me a little bit disappointed. I am one of those people that is of the belief that if you think something's going to happen, then it's going to happen. And if you don't think it's going to happen, then the likelihood of it happening is significantly reduced. I.e., what you put out into the ether is what comes back to you. So if I'm putting my shields up because I'm afraid someone's going to come along, someone's going to come along. But if I don't give a shit about it, nothing is going to happen. Or the likelihood of something happening is significantly reduced. Like I said, having played thousands and thousands of hours of this game, I've never once had an interaction with a pirate. Or I'd be 90% confident in saying, even had a fight with another player. There may be something to that, since your signature will be lower with the shields down. Yeah, maybe. My engine's off. Shields aren't running. And even if my shields are up, by the time I get back to the ship and get in it, it's going to be destroyed anyway. If it was a smaller ship that I could just run straight into and get in the pilot's seat, like a Pisces or something like that, sure, maybe. But with this nonsense, with the, you know, up and down the ladder and the, you know, the new interaction thing not being as smooth at the moment as it possibly and hopefully will be one day, it takes 6.5 days to get into the Nomad. You've had some awesome battles both with pirates and as the pirate. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, sadly, that's never been something that I've been able to experience. A, partly because I'm not a massive PvPer and I've just never been pirated. The first one, you know, I can control, right? If I wanted to go out and fight people, I could, but you know, I can't. I don't get to make the decision on whether I'm pirated or not. Yet another thing I get to experience and enjoy. Alright, we are protected from the elements now. I don't like that little bit of suffocation that we had to go through. But at least we don't have to worry about the temperature in our... Oh my god, I forgot about the charging. In our Pembroke suit. Yeah, if the Nomad had a slightly different interior, if you could at least get a 1 SCU box in there, then that would certainly be a significant, you know, increase or benefit to the Nomad's utility. PvP requires loads of patience and mostly waiting. Yeah, I think certainly if you want to be a pirate, you've really got to be, you know, on the game, so to speak. On point. Win some, lose some, it's all great fun. Yeah, exactly. That's the exact attitude to have. I saw someone earlier this afternoon when I was on, and they were just started raging in chat. Who fucking... It started off by saying, who just attacked the A2? Maybe he was duping or something, which seems to be... Oh no, the A2 was the bomber, right? And obviously no one responded, and he was like, fucking who just fucking attacks people? And then he just went off on a full rant. And I was like, okay dude, you know, there's people out there, everyone's got guns, man. Sometimes, somebody's gonna attack you, man. It's just the way it is. Recognize it for what it is, enjoy the interaction to the extent that you're able to, and move on. Otherwise, you're going to have a terrible experience every single time you play this game. Flossie, you need to finish work and get home. Good to see you and chat back. Have a good one. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, Flossie. PvP bounty hunting is frustrating as you chase people forever only for them to log out and go back to Grimhex. Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I've never done any bounty hunting. Is that, you know, for exactly that reason, Akata, the amount of time that you spend trying to track somebody down, I've never done this, I'm just saying from the comments and other people's opinions and YouTube videos and stuff that I've seen. And you finally manage to get to them and they're like, boom, gone. And you're like, okay, well, that was great fun. No, I'd rather sit out here in the middle of nowhere and crack rocks. And know that every single one of those gems, in 90% of the cases, and I say 90% of the cases, because you don't always be able to get to sell the gems, is going to be worth 275 credits per gem. 90% of the time. Alright, so we've been on Abedine. We found 3 clusters of gems. I think. 2 of them had night, 1 of them was Dolovine. We took a significant amount of damage from our hypothermia earlier on. We've got our Batman suit. Got a nice medium-sized cluster of rocks. It is darkness. I just seem to be spending a lot of time rock mining in darkness at the moment, whether I'm on Magda or now here on Abedine. And I don't really mind it. It's just that the whole landing situation has been not exactly fantastic. And again, that's a skill thing. That's totally a crouch situation. It's something that I can influence and control. I do kind of enjoy rock mining at night. It's just, yeah, just the landing bit freaks me out. The coming into scan stuff and the landing. They've been the only circumstances or the situations where I've had it. Let's just call it a situation. But otherwise, the whole flying around, scanning and skimming and all that sort of stuff, finding patches hasn't been an issue in the darkness because you've got that whole light bubble that creeps out every time you scan. And as long as you're keeping an eye on your altimeter, you're okay. And the situations is just something that I can manage just through practice and practice. And I will admit, a little less freaking out. Not that I do a great deal of that here after dark. At all. You know, that's evident. If anyone who's regularly watched my channels knows that I'm, you know, cold, steely. Never a situation where there's any undue panic or moments of, you know, that doesn't really happen. That's anytime you've seen that, that's just part of the persona that I put on for the benefit and entertainment of the people who enjoy watching my content. But otherwise, it's just straight up, you know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Oh boy. You did just nab a few just by hiding EVA at Korea, catching them going to reset crime stat. Just jump in their ship and take off. Or players as they're coming in. Boop, 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 boop. Not today, buddy. Not today. Off to jail you go. It's a whole nother element of gameplay that I've never really gotten into. And I think at some stage, you know, I'll need to break out of my comfort box. We get a temperature indicator. 36.5, that's fairly good temperature. I don't really want to see that going up at all. Yeah, at some stage I'm going to have to break out of my box and give that a shot. I've never been to Korea. Since the changes to hacking away at crime stat, I was, in the beginning, kind of like, this is fucking bullshit. Why the fuck they do this? No, God, I've got to put another nappy on. And so I've never been to Korea. I think that's something I'm going to have to change. The changes are what they are. I don't need to agree with them. And some ways, I guess I kind of do. It would be nice if there was more than one option for hacking away a crime stat. Like, it'd be nice if there was like a stealth option, rather than having to go fight a whole army of security, which then just racks up your crime stat even further. Or I guess you can go bring down the com array first and then go to Korea, so that you're only there to clear 1 or 2 crimes, rather than having to clear, you know, another 14 murders on top of that. It would be cool if there was like another, you know, more stealth route. You've got to bring down the com array, then you've got to break into this facility and hack into some servers to be able to get a code, and then take that code to a different facility, and then, you know, how do you avoid murdering people at those facilities though? Maybe there are no people. If there's no people, it would be just too easy. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to go there at some stage just to experience it. It's not as bad since you can just pay off charges pre-Crime Sat 3. What, you can pay those off at Korea, or you pay those off first and then you go to Korea? Or how would you pay those off? Because you wouldn't be able to land somewhere where you can pay those crime stats off. Yeah, the com array is the pro move. I am really keen to have, you know, a good session of, not piracy, but, you know, what's the other mission types called? They've got a different name now. And we'll have a look at it in a second. Because to be able to do those missions well, you really need to go and be bringing down com arrays and, you know, doing the legwork, the setup for those missions. Because yeah, if you're not bringing down com arrays, then you're dealing with crime stats. Whereas if you spend the half an hour to go bring down the com array and then go do the mission, you're avoiding the crime stat. But again, you know, that's half an hour to an hour or whatever, you know, at Star Citizen could be 4 hours of, you know, gameplay to bring the com array down and then get away from security. Every time I've gone to bring a com array down, my ship gets destroyed by security. I can get to the com array, pass their missiles, get to the com array, go in, bring the com array down, and every time I bring that com array down, security turns up, destroys my ship before I can get away. Again, that's just perhaps practice or not knowing how the security actually works or how to avoid that situation. But that's been my experience so far, and it's part of the reason why I've never really done any of those, you know, not illegal missions, but the criminal missions, is because I can't bring the com array down and then get back in my ship to continue the mission. You kind of need somebody else to be there who either goes and brings the com array down or then comes and gets you once your ship has been destroyed. It's just, you know, one of those things I've never really done much of. I'd like to see more espionage gameplay, Akeda. Maybe more of that with data running when it comes out. Yeah, exactly. More stealth sort of stuff. And you know, even with Korea, another way to be able to get in, rather than just, you know, kicking through the front door and just gunning everybody down. Our temperature is increasing. 36.9 degrees. Maybe that'll level off. But we have at least been able to bust up all of these rocks. I don't know how many there were, but you know, it was a medium-sized patch, I would say. And we have been able to collect them all without any sort of detrimental effects, which has been good. Have you done the Xenothreat missions? I haven't. I started doing one a couple of days ago, the Intel raid. But Star Citizen did some Star Citizen stuff, and something went wrong. And then I had to go do some other stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll come back and try those again later on. And then I logged on to this account, which only has the NOMAD and the Avenger Titan, and I was like, I'm just going to go rock mining. And yeah, I haven't been back to it. Apparently, if you finish both of the Xeno threats, there's the incursion, and then there's the Intel raid. There's like 30 missions or something that you can complete across those two campaigns. And if you complete them all, you get like an upgrade token or something for the F7C to an F7A or something, and you can redeem that token on the website to upgrade your F7C to an F7A. So if anyone has one of those tokens and they don't have an F7C, and they want to give me their token to upgrade the F7C to an F7A, let me know. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to complete those missions. From what I gather, you know, unless you're, you know, S tier next level player, and obviously, you know, I don't like to toot my own horn. Obviously, everybody here knows that I am. You kind of need a team of people for some of those missions. Yep. We just force it up there. There we go. Grab Walker on there. There we go, just like that. Because we're fully pro here. Up you go. No, yep, fall off the side because that's part of the procedure. Okay, yep, get the wheel stuck in the ground. Good job. Okay. We might need to move the ship. Keep going. Brute force. Brute force. Go on, Rock. You're an industrial vehicle. You can do it. You can do it. One more time. Let's try one more. Go from this side. This way. Just like that. That's how we do it. Go back. Engines off. Oh boy. Let's close this up and get out of here. Oh, bit of wind. Working. No. We got it. We got it. Can I get back in the ship? 37.6 degrees. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in tonight, everyone who's interacted in the comments, everyone who's dropped a like on the video. Thank you so much for spending so much of your time with me here tonight, here at After Dark, for my, you know, debut stream after however many months it's been since I've been on. It's been a significant amount of time. It's been wonderful. I've had a great time. It's been super fun to interact with people in the chat. It's been great fun to play a little bit of Star Citizen, to, you know, play with and experience some of these changes in 3.23. And I'm looking forward to it. Probably be back on the weekend at some stage. We'll see. I'll just, you know, there's no schedule. I'll put up a notice a couple of hours beforehand on the Discord, throw up my stream scheduled on YouTube. We'll get back into Twitch at some stage. I appreciate you spending some of your time with me. What do I think of the Drake Ironclad? Well, it's just a pirate base, isn't it? It's 100% a pirate base. That's really all it is. It's not a cargo ship. That's the cover, right? But everyone knows it's a pirate ship. You know, especially the military or the assault version of it. You know, I think it's amazing, and I think it's something that I need to have. Yeah, that's what I think. I love the roof. It's a carrier. Come on, it's not for cargo. It's a carrier. It's a pirate ship that opens up and just lets out a storm of furies. I'll have one. I will have one. Dog's happy to run through your Xeno threat with you, and you can probably get a team together for it if you want. Maybe I should have a look. Apparently, you know, up until the end of Invictus is when you at the end of Invictus, Xeno threat is finishing apparently, and you've got up until the end of Invictus to get those tokens. So, I might jump on and see how far I can get along. You've kind of got to do it in one session, right? Because if you don't complete, for example, the intel raids is 5 stages, right? I don't think it saves each stage, right? You've just got to start it and then finish it. You can't do stages 1 and 2 and then log off and then come back later on and do stages 3 and 4 and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, maybe we'll jump on the Discord and have a look. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will try to, yeah, we'll just see how things go. Thank you for tuning in. 21 likes on the old YouTube. Thank you so much. 10 people concurrently watching over there. It's been fantastic. I've had such a great time. And I can never be grateful enough, and I can never be thankful enough for those people who choose to spend some of their time with me live right here at After Dark on YouTube, and maybe perhaps in the future Twitch once we get back into a routine. That's that. I'm out. If my stream deck was working, I could click some buttons. That's another issue I need to sort out. I'll click this one over here. See you later. Hang on, wait a minute. No, I don't know how that works.